famous Hull City flag with the tiger on it, and black and amber it says underneath. It's being passed above heads on the far side. We're into stoppage time at Celtic Park. St Johnstone on the verge of winning the Scottish Cup for the first time ever as a sailor from HMS Drake with the brand new FA Cup. You might have heard Juliet saying earlier they've had a brand new FA Cup. The previous one had a little bit of wear and tear. Is standing at the top of the tunnel with the colours and the ribbons of Arsenal and Hull City, and ready to walk forward. And I can just see Olivier Giroud putting his hands on his face. Steve Bruce looks extremely serious. Lifted the FA Cup, of course, with Hull City. And he's a picture of concentration. Curtis Davis behind him as well. Alan McGregor. There's Steve Bruce's son Alex. Father picks son in an FA Cup one. It's happened before, of course. Brian Clough would have picked Nigel Clough Malky, so it's never not happened before, but it's still pretty rare.
It is, but he's absolutely here on merit. Let's make no mistake about that. There's no sentiment attached to it. Alex Bruce is a warrior, and he's in that team for very good reason today, and Steve's very calm and relaxed about the fact that he is in the team.
Arsene Wenger, hands in pockets, the angular figure, just looking to his left, looking at the Hull City lineup as Steve Bruce just had a word with Curtis Davis and with Alan McGregor as well. These must be minutes of pure torture. It's bad enough watching them. What must it be like to be in there, Malky?
I certainly felt at that point, don't trip up over any of those cables in the way out.
Everyone's watching, yeah. Do not make a fool of yourself.
This is where the players just want this to the next 5-10 minutes just to get out there, get everyone off the pitch and get that whistle blown at the moment. But it's sensational. There'll be shivers in the back of the spine walking out there just now.
Here comes the sailor from HMS Drake, then very smartly indeed, walking forward and putting the FA Cup on the plinthers. Here come the teams with a mascot, of course, to the side of them. What a moment for these Hull City players, many of whom would have dreamt of playing in an FA Cup final, but maybe thought it might never happen. And for Arsenal, it's a day potentially of redemption. Mikel Arteta is the captain, the club captain. Thomas Vermaelen is on the bench. It's all over in Scotland, and you, Roddy Forsyth, have had a day of history in the Scottish Cup.
There's no brand new trophy here. This is the oldest continuously played for major trophy in the world, all the way from 1872. And at last, after 130 years of their existence, St Johnstone's name will be on it, and that's courtesy of Steve Anderson and Steve McLean. A goal in each half. The goalkeeper, Cherniak of Dundee United, will ask himself questions about both goals. But as you go to celebrate the FA Cup, one word from Pat Nevin: this has been a deserved tactical victory for Tommy Wright and his Perth players.
Yeah, you use the right word, tactical victory, because he got it right all the way through this season. I think St Johnstone have had Dundee United's number. Time and again they've just defended. No, they've not parked the bus. They've defended well and broken at good pace, but also given no space in the midfield. And sometimes it happens in cup finals, you get tactics right, but you still might not win the game. They got their bit of luck when they needed a bit of luck as well. Twice Dundee United hit the woodwork. Very, very unlucky not to get a goal there. That would have made it interesting. Even so, St Johnstone deserved winners.
Well, as we're about to go back to the hallowed turf of Wembley, let us say that today the Celtic Park pitch is sainted territory.
And Malky Mackay, thoroughly enjoyed your reference to the Scottish Cup being the most continuously played knockout competition.
Fabulous, Roddy, fabulous. Just keep the end up for the Scottish. Well done, Roddy.
Lovely pictures here as His Royal Highness the Duke of Cambridge has been introduced to the Arsenal team and is now going down the Hull team, having a chat with Alan McGregor. He's going, how are your kidneys? He's gone, how's George? And he's just said to Alex Bruce, good thing your dad's the manager. And Liam Rosenior, we've got at least two, we think 3 sons of professional footballers. I work regularly with Leroy Rosenior, and I know that Leroy was proud but really quite worried because he wasn't sure whether Liam was going to make the cut or not. He's had a really good season, Liam.
Yeah, he certainly has, and Leroy's a top man, and Liam is again another one that's in there on merit today. They've decided that Figueroa, the more attack-minded one, they're not going to go with him, and Liam is a very good defender. They're going to have him in at left back at the moment. I'm delighted for Leroy and his family today.
And a word for Lee Probert, who is the referee today. We hope that we don't mention him again. It means he's done a very, very good job.
He's a good experienced referee at this level, and he's certainly not sent me off, so I'm fine.
As we stand for the national anthem. It's a fabulously colourful sight. We are sitting just inside the Arsenal half, as it were, so red and white in front of us and black and amber away to our left. Arsene Wenger, just a clap of the hands, just pats one of the mascots on the back, and look, he's going down the Arsenal line clapping. He looked extremely serious early. He's just given Podolski a bit of a thump on the back. I mean, I don't think that was a little bit of Arsene Wenger there, wasn't it? Like, come on, come on.
He's up for it, and Steve Bruce has done the same. He's gone down and shaken every one of his players' hands there on the way off the pitch as well. So I think it's going to be a cracking game.
I'm sure they shook hands beforehand as well. Steve Bruce in his suit, terrific character, great value. Or understands the importance of football, but also understands where it sits in the great perspective of life, doesn't he, Steve Bruce?
Very much so. I mean, he's a terrific manager. He's a good man. He's very well respected in the game, and what a season he's had with Hull. You know, it was a great appointment, and by goodness, he's actually repaid that.
So the band apart away to our left. Just to remind you, of course, we can have extra time and penalties. When Arsenal won the cup in 2005, it was, having been totally outplayed by Manchester United and then winning on penalties. The teams shake hands. They shake hands with the officials. Arsenal haven't won a trophy for 3,283 days. Will the drought end today, or will Hull City win the FA Cup for the very first time? Malky Mackay's with us, Chris Waddle, twice a finalist, Mike Ingham, and first of all, here's Alan Green.
Well, first of all, can I mirror what Mark said earlier about how good it is that outside of the playoffs, this has resumed the FA Cup final as the last big domestic game of the season. Two further requests. One, this is not the Super Bowl. With all due respect to Leona Lewis, let the crowd sing Abide With Me. Let the crowd sing God Save the Queen. And finally, ultimately, get this back to 3 o'clock on a Saturday. That's when the FA Cup final should kick off. Much of our build-up has been focused on Arsenal. Let's not forget the mammoth achievement this is for Hull City. This is not once in a generation. This is once in a century. Their first ever FA Cup final. They're the 57th different club to reach this mammoth showpiece occasion. Whatever happens today, these Hull players, the Hull City fans away to our left, who made such a racket over the last couple of hours, this is a day they will never ever forget. Hull City's lineup is this: the goalkeeper is McGregor, the back three, Chester, Bruce, son of the manager Steve, and Davis, the captain. Then the wing backs, El Mohammadi and Rosignol, and between them Livermore, Mailer and Huddleston. Then Quinn in support of Friant. Arsenal's keeper is Fabianski. Their back four, Sanya, Mertesacker, Koscielny and Gibbs. Then Ramsey and Arteta. Then Cazorla, Ozil and Podolski. And finally, Giroud. I don't know who's more nervous. The man standing in the technical area to the left of the halfway line, that's Steve Bruce, or Arsene Wenger, who is out of sight just at the moment. So much for two managers, two substantial managers. And just on Steve Bruce, why was he not considered for Old Trafford? Don't understand that. The referee is Lee Probert. He's one of our best. He's waiting, of course, for the signal from television to kick off. I think they've marginally lined up just before 5 o'clock. Is that right, Chris? Bang on now. Chris's watch is certainly more accurate than mine. But Lee Probert just glances to Hull, who will kick off in this final in their amber and black striped shirts, white numbers on the back. Thankfully we'll be able to see those, hopefully. Black shorts and hoop socks. And Arsenal in their red shirts with white sleeves, white shorts, white socks. Hull defending the end to our left in the first half, and that's the end behind which their supporters are gathered. The ball's out of play on the far side of the field. The assistant flag for a throw into Arsenal, but Lee Probert has spotted a foul on Rosignol, and it's going to be a free kick to Hull City. How they start is going to be very, very important, Chris.
Well, they started all right. They've passed it. They've got a free kick on that far side, on the left side, and yeah, they've gone the shape we thought. We talked about the three: Huddleston, Livermore, Quinn playing behind Matty Friant. Alhambri just gone up with a head on there, just loses out. listen, they've been very confident. I agree with what you said earlier about Steve Bruce, how he wasn't considered for Old Trafford. I don't understand that now.
Don't get that. Someone imbued with Manchester United, with an excellent record, with limited resources, what might he do with millions of pounds behind him? Anyway, that's an issue for another day. Hull with a throw-in on the halfway line. Now Arsene Wenger has joined Steve Bruce in the technical area, and the throw is going to be taken by El Mohammadi. Takes the return pass from Quinn, and now it's fed toward the far side, and Davis, the skipper, onto the far flank. That's the left wing for Hull City. And Senior breaks forward, and then he slips the pass inside, doesn't find a colleague. Arsenal have the ball, and important though it is how Hull start for their fortunes, how will Arsenal begin?
Got to say, Hull have started very well, haven't they? They've moved the ball around quite quickly with this 3-5-2, and a lot of movement off the ball, a lot of options. The thing I've got for Hull today, Alan, is they've got no pace in the side, and it's got to be passed, and they've got to look for runners, whether it be Livermore, Quinn's more or less playing as a striker at the middle alongside Mike Fryer, but neither of the top two there. Quinn's just dropping off now. None of them are quick.
Mailer almost caught in possession, but he feeds the ball through to Huddleston. Back it comes, and it's on from Chester. Hull reasonably confident in possession. The ball's now with Quinn short of the halfway line. Diminutive Irishman to the one out-and-out striker, Fryer, who hasn't started a league game all season for Hull City, and he's out of contract shortly. He may not be a Hull player next season. El Mohammadi breaks down the right side, swirls the cross in, but I think he swirls it behind the goal line. No, came off the defender. Yep. It was Podolski who was back, tracking him back, and it's a corner to Hull.
Good positive start, moved the ball well. The one thing you'll get out the people who do want to run the balls are two wing backs, Al-Hamadi and Senior. When they pick it up and they see space in front, they will attack it. And this is a good chance. We say it every week in English football, but set pieces are such an important part of the English game.
You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Live from Wembley Stadium, the FA Cup final, Arsenal against Hull, and after 3 minutes Hull have the first corner. Quinn's going to take it from their right. He's going to play it left-footed, swinging in towards Fabianski's goal. At least I thought he'd do. It was played wide actually, and it's into the net. My goodness, it's a goal! Chester has put Hull City in front. Unbelievable start from the underdogs. How will Arsenal react to this? Arsenal 0, Hull City 1. The corner was played deep. It was meant to be a shot on goal. It was going wide, but then Chester got a foot on the ball, and it's into the net.
Oh, Hull fans are going absolutely mad to our left. Simple corner, it was rehearsed. You can see what they've done. Quinn really drives it with his laces. A lot of pace, not high for Huddleston, who's got great technique, doesn't volley it how he wants. Chester reacts, there's nobody marking 4-5 Hull City players. They just all run out, Arsenal. Chester just directs it, he doesn't really know a lot about it. Directs it on the target, bottom corner, 1-0.
And you know something, it was a major doubt as to whether he'd be fit enough to play. Malcolm Mackay, what do you make of that start for Hull?
Wow, incredible. I mean, they started the first minute or so well, but they've taken the set piece very well. Obviously, Arsenal are zonal. It's hit from the edge of the box. It clips Chester, but they've got the man in the line. Arsenal have got the man in the line who didn't come out with the rest of the team and plays everyone onside.
Well, when Wigan took the lead against Arsenal in the semi-final, you could visibly see the nerves seep through every Arsenal pore, and not just in terms of their fans away to the right, as we said in our commentary position, but also every single Arsenal player on the pitch. What was it Mertesacker said? They were frightened of failure against Wigan. Here, in the early minutes of the FA Cup final, they trail Hull City by 1-0. Now that arm was very high from Podolski. The referee was close by, didn't see any offence, and it's now with Ramsey. Arsenal just haven't started.
No, they haven't started. Yeah, they're driving forward now, but terrible goal to give away. Arsene Wenger can't believe it.
Ramsey to Cazorla. Cazorla plays it Ozil. On it goes to the far side of the field. Sanya crosses in low, and McGregor takes that ball at his near post, and you could hear the roars of approval from the Hull City fans. This will not just be one great day in their lives, it'll be the greatest day in their lives if Hull City win this game.
Shadow of a doubt. Well, they've started well. Hey, confidence is there. It was a well-worked corner, all right. Listen, Chester's not going to say a lot about it. He's just direct. If you watch the game on his left foot, he just gazes onto the target. It goes in the bottom corner. Bad defending, you've got to say, by Arsenal, but we'll not be bothered about that. They're playing very well, very confident.
Mertesacker for the Gunners, to Sagna on the far side of the field. Sagna, everybody knows he's talking to Manchester City. Even his money's being discussed, 100 grand a week. That's why he's going to Manchester City. Mertesacker again. Mertesacker, of course, who made the error in the semi-final when he brought down McManaman for the Wigan penalty. Mertesacker scored the equaliser, to his great relief and to the Arsenal club's relief. Right, an Arsenal player down injured at the moment after a challenge, and the ball kindly has been put out of play by Huddleston so that the Arsenal player can receive attention. Not sure who that is. It's Giroud.
It's Giroud, yes. He jumped. He has the goal again. We're getting a replay of it here. Just look from above.
I mean, the shot was being driven well wide.
He doesn't place it. Look, he directs it onto the target, and that's all he can ask for. He's a centre half. It's just come to him. He's flicked it with his left foot, and it's gone in the bottom corner.
There's a great video replay available to us in the stadium. It's of a Hull fan all around him. He's surrounded by Hull City fans. They're in disbelief, and he's going literally berserk. Fantastic start for Hull. 7 minutes gone here at Wembley. Giroud's okay. Hull City lead Arsenal by a goal to nil. What were they? Something 8-1 against?
Yeah. Well,
who cares? What odds matter?
There's a long way to go.
This is the silly game of football. And you're right, there is a long way to go. Throw in on the near side. It might even be a free kick for Hull City. Either way, they're going to be in possession. And Podolski very kindly throws the ball away. So that immediately shows that they're irritated by the start that they've made.
Well, it's just time he's wasting, isn't it? The 1-0 down. I don't know what they're getting out of that. But they're defending very high again from his set piece, which is 30 yards up the pitch, really close to the touchline on his right hand side. And they're on the 18-yard line. He's left a massive area to put the ball in that space.
It's going to be a free kick then. A couple of yards into the right touchline. Huddleston sweeps it in, right-footed. Detour the far post. Goodness, great opportunity there, but the header was askance. Still the pressure on. Quinn turns. Quinn crosses into the penalty. Headed down. Hit the post. It's 2-0. It's knocked in by Curtis Davis, the Hull captain. An unbelievable first 8 minutes in the FA Cup final. Who believes this? Arsenal 0, Hull 2. Davis with the second goal.
Well, yet again, another set piece. It started from, it comes across the box. They've never dealt with it. Give us their Quinn credit down that left-hand side. Gets to the byline, stands a wonderful cross up. There's a lot of Hull players still in there from the first set piece, and it just basically comes off the post. It goes through the back. Stephen Quinn picks it up. Everybody switches off. He does ever so well, Quinn. Lovely cross, stands it up, far post. A lot of bodies in it, off the post, and Davis reacts first. I've got to say, that is a very, very good finish.
Wasn't it cool?
Yes, very cool. Side foot. It's not the best header. Is it Mela who hits the post? It comes back out. But it's a very good finish. Side foot.
Marky, somebody better wake me up. Are Hull really winning 2-0?
Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Stephen Quinn did really well to get the cross in. I think it's poor defending, but he gets the cross in. It's not attacked properly, and then there's no reaction from the Arsenal defence. They have not started here. It's simple as that. Hull have started on fire. Arsenal are yet to start.
Marky Mackay alongside Mark Fugac. And here there is almost stunned disbelief in the 5 Live in World Service commentary position at Wembley. Arsenal 0, Hull City 2. Chester with the first goal, Davis with the second. 2 of the back 3 scoring for Hull City. And Arsenal, they're stunned. They're reeling at the moment. There's still plenty of time for them. 81 minutes left in the FA Cup final. And that's not including what we might have extra time.
Well, listen, Arsenal have got the ability to turn this round. I know it doesn't look at it at the minute. They look flat. They're looking for inspiration. There's nobody grabbing the ball, wanting the ball enough to say, let's make something happen. Ozil's dropped deep now to pick it up, but they've just not started, Arsenal. Oh, touched by Podolski.
Was awful. Hull play the ball over the halfway line towards Bryant. There are 2 Arsenal defenders back there, and Mertesacker clears it to Sagna on the far side of the field. I said before kick-off, in the build-up, can we trust this Arsenal team? You know, in the really big games that matter, so often they fall down. Here's Gibbs, the left fullback, finding Arteta, and Arteta chips the ball to the far side, and Sagna. They're sluggish at the moment, Arsenal. There's nothing quick about their movement, and that was a feature of the semi-final against Wigan as well. Ball's out of play. Arsenal going to throw in on the far side of the field. Sanya to take it, level with the edge of the Hull penalty area. The pass goes back to Sanya, and now it's with Mertesacker to Koscielny inside the Arsenal half. Hull with a 2-goal lead. They can sit and say to Arsenal, all right, you come on, you show us what you've got, and we'll try to pick you off in the counter-attack.
Well, they can, but you've got to say, do what you've been doing, getting on the ball, plenty options, plenty movement. You know, don't sit back and encourage Arsenal to get a lot of touches and confidence on the ball. Try and win it a lot earlier. Look, they're giving silly fouls away now. Arsenal is a lot.
Foul by Ozil.
Yeah. Right. So far, so good for Hull. But you don't want them to come off the pace. It's too early.
That was a foul in Livermore. So McGregor, the Hull goalkeeper, who's recovered from what was potentially a career-threatening injury, damage to his kidney. He might have lost the kidney. And he was telling Steve Bruce in intensive care after he had received the first medical attention, I'll be back in 6 weeks, boss. He meant I'll be back for the cup final. And he's watching in disbelief as his team Hull lead Arsenal by 2-0. They've got to throw it in the near side of the field, halfway inside the Arsenal half. El Mohammadi takes it back to Livermore. Livermore forward to Fryatt. El Mohammadi's pass back to Fryatt was a little short, but that deflected off an Arsenal player, and look at them protesting to the referee. You know, it's a corner. Get on with it. Deal with it.
Well, they've not switched on again, and what they've done, Hull, they've obviously saw the weakness of this Arsenal team. Yeah, they are zonal, and they've obviously worked on stuff, because the first one, corner, Stephen Quinn did ever so well for the second one, but it came from a set piece again.
The corner this time is going to be taken by Huddleston from the right. I thought the last one by Quinn was going to be an in-swinger. It wasn't. It led to the first goal. It was played out to the outside of the penalty area. Huddleston more direct this time toward the far post. A Hull header gets the ball. It's headed off the line. It's behind for a corner.
It was Alex Bruce, wasn't it? Came in that far post, got up nice and late. The problem when you're zonal, Mark Allen, is you can't. If you can get a good run on the ball. The ball's just hung up there. He's got a good run on it. He jumps well above everybody. And this time a defender does his job.
Gibbs.
Yes, he does his job this time on the post.
What did I say? 3-0 to Arsenal? What do I know about the game? Huddleston with a corner deep. Another Hull header goalwards, but this one's high and behind. It's a goal kick. And the roars you can hear are roars of frustration from Arsenal supporters. 13 minutes gone. Arsenal 0, Hull 2. Fabianski, was he to blame for either goal?
No.
Don't think so.
No.
Takes the goal kick. It clears the halfway line. Headed firmly back by Davis. Scored the second goal. Headed on by Fryatt. Fryatt chases it towards the far side of the field, but it's out of play. It'll be a throw into Arsenal. I think we can assume that Fryatt's going to be working very hard, because most of the time he's going to be a lone forward. It's now with Gibbs, who's just prevented Arsenal going 3-0 down in the first quarter of an hour. Now it's to the full-back on the far side of the field, the right-back, Sanya, into Mertesacker. And Mertesacker just hits the pass. It was a little short, wasn't great, but it was won by Giroud. He plays it to the near side, where El Mohammadi wins the ball, bouncing inside the Arsenal half now, and Arteta, the captain, finds Cazorla onto Ramsey. So much will be placed at his shoulders to try to get Arsenal back into this game. Cazorla comes forward, got the slightest brush from El Mohammadi. Cazorla went down, and the referee gives a free kick to Arsenal, which is tapped by Gibbs to Cazorla. Ramsey's close by. It's played to Ozil instead. He gets a nudge in the back. From Myler, it's another free kick. And went down a little easily, let's say, but he was pushed. Here's Ozil again from that resultant free kick to Sanya on the far side. The Arsenal right. 15 minutes played at Wembley. Arsenal haven't got going, and they're 2-0 down. Chester and Davis scoring the goals for Hull City in the first 8 minutes of the game. Here on 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Mertesacker to Sanya. Sanya on to the right side, takes the return pass, and then he loses it. Hull rather hurry the clearance, and it's back into Arsenal's possession. And Arsenal beginning to see a good deal more of the ball. Koscielny to Podolski. Podolski running down the inside left channel into Cazorla. The ball was played back to Ramsey. I think Lee Probert was a little quick to blow his whistle there, but Arsenal won't be that unhappy because they've got a free kick in a dangerous position.
It's a soft free kick to give away, Alex Bruce. He didn't need to go and win the ball. Sometimes just let him pass it back and do your job. This is a good position for Arsenal. First we've saw them in the game.
16 minutes played, and here's an opportunity for Arsenal to reduce the 2-0 deficit. Cazorla fancies it. It's in the inside left position. It's made for a right footer. It must be surely Cazorla. The whole wall, 4 of them in the wall, are being forced back into their own penalty area, getting the full 10 yards distance. Lee Probert just checking that nobody drifts any nearer than that. Cazorla is there. A long time before this free kick. Here he comes forward, right footed, swings it in goal. Great goal! Fabulous free kick from Cazorla, and Arsenal are back in it. 16 minutes played. Arsenal 1, Hull City 2.
Well, I've got to say, that is a fantastic strike from Cazorla, who's got that in his locker. He's a tremendous little footballer. Arsene Wenger walks the touchline a little bit happier after seeing that. It's a response which he didn't see coming. Could we question McGregor? Should he be standing that side? The wall should be covering out. Watch McGregor, we've got a replay. He moves across the goal like most goalkeepers do. If he stands where he should be, it's an easy save. He's moved across the goal and the pace has beat him. You've got to look at the goalkeeper for that.
As I forecast, it's going to end up 5-5 or 6-6. Something like that. It's quite a start, isn't it? And Hull mustn't get too down on themselves. They've started brilliantly, but Arsenal are back in it. Malky Mackay, are you enjoying this?
It's a lively one, it certainly is. Mark's just said to me there, there's the place that he should put it, and Cazorla did that. It looks as though slightly from the angle here that you see that 2 or 3 players run across McGregor, and he just might have been blindsided with the whole thing. He takes a step just to the right, just before it, but it's still a beautifully executed goal from Cazorla, and hopefully, for Arsenal's sake, that settles them down. Hull have started really well, so it makes for a good cup final.
There was a push in the back of Ozil. He was clearly looking for the free kick. He was almost backing into the defender. Got the reaction he wanted. He gets the free kick.
It's Alex Bruce again. He's got to calm down. He cannot win every ball. That's 2 he's give away in silly positions. This one obviously is a lot further out, but it's a good opportunity for Arsenal to put the ball in the danger area. He's got to calm down.
So Hull 2-0 up after 8 minutes. Arsenal pull a goal back after 17 minutes. And now they're looking to make it 2-2. Now this free kick's far too far out for a direct shot at goal. Cazorla whips the free kick in toward the far post. Mertesacker heads it down. It's inside the penalty area, but Sagna can't get to the ball before the defender, and it's cleared by Hull over the halfway line. Hull player is, quote, down injured. Play continues. Arsenal have the ball, and well, eventually the referee stops the play. There's still confusion about this, isn't there, Chris? It's up to the referee whether he holds up play. Cazorla had possession, and he's thinking, well, do I have to kick it out of play? Well, just seeing a replay of the goal.
Well, I think McGregor's made 2 steps to his right, which he didn't need to. There's people moving around, but listen, if it goes over the wall and it goes in the top corner, you've got to say, brilliant free kick. When it goes where you're standing, that's why you've got a wall. You should pick anything up that side.
Well, this isn't a bad interruption, I think, for Steve Bruce, as El Mohammadi receives some attention because his players have all come to have a swig of water, and Bruce could just have a calming word or two with them. Brilliant start they've made. Now Arsenal have pulled the goal back and are clearly back into the game. El Mohammadi, I'm sure, will be all right, but he's taken a while, and now he's being pulled to his feet. Arsene Wenger still looks gloomy. What's he doing? He's looking at El Mohammadi as if this is a deliberate hold-up and play. He's not faking it, Arsene. And now he's having a word with the assistant. Oh, goodness gracious. Kind thoughts there from Arsene Wenger towards the injured Hull player. Anyway, El Mohammadi has received treatment. He's going to have to come off, of course. We've played 20 ferocious minutes here at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup final on 5 Live and the World Service. Arsenal 1, Hull City 2. Arsene Wenger patrolling the technical area now. He retreats and he's going to sit down. He can't be happy with the way, Chris, that his side started.
No, they've got well, hopefully that will put a bit of spark into them, that goal by Cazorla. They're back into the game now. 2-1's always a risky score, but yeah, the opening 10 minutes, 15 minutes they were all over the place, no tempo about them, just basically let Hull did what they want. But that goal you would think would have settled them.
Players resume, 21 minutes gone, Hull lead 2-1. Koscielny, El Mohammadi's back on the pitch to Mertesacker, and now taken up by Ramsey to Arteta, on to Gibbs near side of the field. Just thinking back to Gibbs heading off the line when it could easily have gone 3-0 to Hull. Koscielny to the Arsenal goal scorer, Cazorla. He finds Ramsey, back to Cazorla. Cazorla still short of the halfway line, finds Sanya with a firm pass back to Mertesacker, and Mertesacker lays it forward to Giroud. Giroud on the edge of the centre circle, good ball to Podolski. Podolski brings it down, he's onside, left of the penalty, swings across in low, goodness gracious, the defender hesitated, and that was almost turned in by Ozil. He didn't get enough of a contact on the ball, but that could easily have gone 2-2.
Well, Ozil there for me, he should score. He's just got to clip it onto the goal. The pace of the cross would have directed it into the goal, but Arsenal's come into the game now. Hull have gone a little bit too deep. Yes, they've got an A shape, the five at the back, but they've got to try and press ours a little bit high up the field like they did the opening 10 minutes.
Rosigne to Myler on the far side of the field, and the defender put the ball out of play, and it came off Myler, and it's going to be a throw in to Arsenal. But we've had a frantic opening quarter of the game, 3 goals, 2 of them to Hull, so it's set up very nicely for Mike Ingham.
Well, you can't beat early goals in a cup final, and what a position we have here for you on 5 Live and World Service. So 2-1 to Hull City, who came out so assured, and really no surprise that they took the early initiative here. Arsenal back through that set piece, and how will that affect Hull? How will that affect Arsenal equally? Hull playing from left to right here, and looking very composed, and obviously having benefited from their appearance here in the semi-final, getting used to the stadium. Long ball forward, Mertesacker's header for Arsenal. Now Cazorla gets away from Myler in midfield, and there's more of a spring in the Arsenal step, though. 1 or 2 of their players, Ramsey and Ozil, probably not getting on the ball enough for them. Ramsey's on it now inside the centre circle. Ramsey takes the ball into the Hull half. He's surrounded by black and amber, and eventually the ball is played to this left-hand side, and Kieran Gibbs. Hull City 2, Arsenal 1 in the 2014 FA Cup final. Ozil now finding Sagna, who waited for that and then also invited the challenge which came in from Rosigne. And the Hull City players are trying to protect him, but this could possibly be the first yellow card of the game, Chris.
Well, as you say, Arsenal have upped the tempo slightly and they've pushed them back, and Alex Bruce has done 2 silly free kicks this time. I think he'll have a word, surely, is he's going to book them. I think it's his first free foul he's give away. I think just have a word, listen, calm yourselves down, and let's start playing again. Is it late? We're seeing the replay here. It is late, and we've seen, if that was a normal game, a Premier League game, I think he would have a yellow.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because there do seem to be sometimes a different set of rules in cup finals.
Yeah, and then they say it's too early in the game. How can it be too early? A foul's a foul.
But clearly Rosigne has been given a last warning by Lee Probert. Sanya's just receiving attention off the pitch over on the far side, and it will be a free kick to Arsenal. If you're just joining us, amazing start here with 2 of the 3 centre-backs scoring for Hull City inside the first 8 minutes. Chester and then Davis, but now Cazorla stands over this free kick, and Koscielny's gone into the penalty area with Mertesacker. In goes the free kick, headed out by Hull, driven back in again, and off the line from Hull City. Ball is not kept in down this near side. Arsenal are appealing for the throw-in, linesman's giving it to them, and the players talking to the referee still. Aaron Ramsey there with Myler. Throw to Arsenal to be taken by Gibbs. Giroud's lurking, just moves away from the far post, and Gibbs looks for Giroud. Giroud's header didn't find Podolski. Podolski has to take the ball out of the area. Hull clear. We haven't seen much of Hull as an attacking force, and now as they go forward, there's a foul by Arteta on Friat, and some relief here for Hull City, because they can now get players into the Arsenal half.
Well, the Hull players now are having a word with Lee Probert about, saying what you're going to say about this free kick and that free kick. Let's get on the game. It's been a good game so far. Arsenal are getting a little bit more on top, but Hull always have that counter-attack.
Yeah, they're still a bit agitated, still making a few points and pointing around the pitch at several episodes that they wanted to talk to Lee Probert about. And now Steve Bruce points and Hull City have a free kick. It's still inside their own half though, and it will be taken by the man who gave them the lead, Chester, when he diverted that effort from Huddleston following the corner. Free kick is taken. Arsenal should head this away. There's a good challenge by El Mohammadi. Arsenal and Ozil can't control it. Hasn't really got into the game yet. And it's a throw to Hull halfway inside the Arsenal half down this near side. Arsenal looked just a bag of nerves defensively in the opening 10 minutes against those set pieces. El Mohammadi now, first Egyptian to play in an FA Cup final. Raises the ball above his head, and then there's a mistake by Quinn, and it's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal. The way that Steve Bruce has set up as well, he's kind of swamped midfield here, hasn't he, to try and contain Arsenal?
Yeah, because Quinn is a midfield player and he'll play off Matty Fright, and if he's needed to come back into that 2-3 in midfield with Mailer, Huddleston, Livermore, he's quite happy to come back and do that. Very good engine.
It's a muggy early evening here now. We've lost the sunshine at Wembley. Hull fans to the left, Arsenal to the right. Hull have the ball on the halfway line, and the referee got in the way, and it's a lucky ricochet for Arsenal. Podolski now, just inside the Hull City half. Podolski holds, lays the ball into Cazorla. Cazorla got the challenge, referee was happy with it. Hull play it forward, good running from Livermore. Gibbs is goal side of him though, doesn't take any chances, and when he cleared it, I think Livermore was catching him late there, and in the left back position Arsenal had a free kick.
Well, it was good running by Livermore. He's the only one really breaking from midfield, but gives away a silly free kick. Doesn't need to, they'd pick the ball up.
In a couple of minutes we're bringing Malky Mackay. It will be a third of the way through the game. We played 27.5 minutes at Wembley. Hull City lead 2-1, but here come Arsenal, and this is terrific running from Ramsey. Ramsey slots it to Giroud. Giroud didn't take it first time. Opportunity wasted. Ball comes back to Podolski. Podolski's shot takes a deflection, and Arsenal have a corner kick down the left-hand side. And Giroud not happy with himself there, but he didn't manage to make more of that. And it's going to be Santi Cazorla with an Arsenal corner near side the left. Alan McGregor, remember, the Scottish international, back in the Hull goal again after his injury. Steve Harper sits on the bench. And Arsenal carry quite a threat from set pieces, with Mertesacker at the near post, and Koscielny there as well. Sanya's gone into the penalty area too. In it goes, headed out though well by Hull City. Gibbs will pick up the loose ball. Gibbs gives it to Ramsey on his right hand side. Ramsey's ball down the left now, finding Arteta. Arteta with a high ball into the area. Mertesacker has stayed forward, headed towards goal. Goalkeeper didn't come for it, and Giroud was there, but the angle was awkward for him, and he's put it behind for a goal kick to Hull City. So, well, we played a third of the game, Malky. What do you think?
I think eventually Arsenal have woken up. I think the goal helped them. They've started competing, because up to the first 10-15 minutes they never won a first ball, a header, a challenge, but that's changed, and they've settled down an awful lot. Cazorla has certainly been involved in most of the build-up so far. Ozil still looks a bit sluggish at the moment, but Hull are competing well.
They are indeed. I heard one or two people saying they might be more attracted by the game in Spain today, Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, on the basis that this cup final would be too one-sided. Well, goodness me, Hull, it actually was looking one-sided towards Hull City in the opening stages, leading 2-0 inside the first 10 minutes. But you wouldn't bet against Arsenal coming back now?
No, not now, 2-1. They're dominating. They've got possession at the minute. Hull basically are just competing, stopping Arsenal play. They've not... like they did the first 10 minutes, they got on the ball and started playing and popping it round, and that's what they're doing now, but then start again giving it away so cheaply, and they're going deeper and deeper.
Koscielny tidying up on the edge of the penalty area, and now Sanya probably playing for Arsenal for the last time here today at Wembley. Not a bad way to bow out, only if Arsenal win though, of course, from his point of view. Now it's Ramsey on to Ozil, who's seen very little of the ball, and he's been tripped by Tom Huddleston and shakes his fist at the referee. Ozil wanting a bit more protection. Lee Probert is the referee. Free kick is taken. Hull City leading 2-1 in the cup final, and now Arsenal moving it to this left hand side of the field, and the German international Podolski back in field to Cazorla, who's put them back in the game with that free kick. He's been their main player so far here today. Ramsey runs into Huddleston, and the ball is back out of play down below us. Arsene Wenger comes out to try and retrieve it. Instead, the ball boy gets there first, and Arsenal throw the ball back to Koscielny, who's now committed himself, of course, to Arsenal. Longer term, Mertesacker onto Arteta. Arsenal getting more of the ball now. Ozil just inside the Hull half. Ozil for Ramsey. Hull not seeing quite as much of the possession at the moment. Ramsey for Arsenal, into feet. In goes the challenge from Davis, and Hull City clear. Back again to Mertesacker, doesn't collect it first time. Into the last 15 minutes of the first half at Wembley as Mertesacker strides forward now with those long legs, finds Sagna down the right-hand side. Ramsey's made a burst, Sagna holds it, now finds Ramsey wide on the Arsenal right-hand side. Mertesacker's in the penalty area. The ball is played to Sagna. Sagna, I think, has won a corner. He has off the defender. Arsenal winning corners now, left and right, putting the pressure on Hull City here.
Well, they're moving the ball a lot quicker, and there's a lot more confidence in this Arsenal side since they got that goal back.
Cazorla again with it. Mertesacker, Koscielny, Sagna, all in the area. 2-1 though to Hull City in the cup final. Corner kick to be taken by Cazorla over on the far side of the field. In it goes towards Giroud. It was well won at the back, but then thumped back in by Ramsey. Great block though by Curtis Davis it was. Steve Bruce claps his hands, realises that this is a more troublesome period for his team, but he would know that with Arsenal coming back into the game, and the ball is back with Fabianski away to our right. 32 minutes gone in the cup final on 5 Live and World Service. Hull 2, Arsenal 1. Arsenal, who finished 42 points ahead of Hull in the Premier League this season, means nothing of course though here today. Giroud trying to shake off Curtis Davis, who's doing well, and Bruce just clears anywhere really, first time instinctively out of play to the far side of the field for an Arsenal throw. The two managers are both out there now watching on as Ramsey receives from the throw. Ramsey played that towards Cazorla, didn't really give him much of a chance, it was played too quickly, and Hull City have the throw. Well, plenty for Bruce and Wenger to ponder. Bruce just eases himself back against the advertising board down there, doing everything he can from the sidelines to inspire his team to stay alive in this FA Cup, leading 2-1. Ball back with Mertesacker, but at the moment Hull inviting Arsenal forward, which could be a dangerous game. Koscielny to Mertesacker. Hull looking to try and play on the break at the moment. Ball is with Ramsey and now Sagna. Sagna can't get the ball past Rossini. Arsenal gain a few yards and move to the far side to take the throw in. They're playing from right to left here in this first half at Wembley, and they're trailing by 2-1. Now Giroud following the throw in. Nice flick to Sagna. Sagna down the right hand side, but Huddlestone's waiting for the cross, and the clearance is high from Myler, doesn't reach the halfway line, headed back strongly by Koscielny. Now this is where Arsenal could be vulnerable as Hull City break down the left hand side. Myler with Fright trying to stay onside, and he's stayed onside. There is no flag, but there's nobody in the penalty area to give it to yet. Quinn is trying to get there. Ball is played back to Rossini, still only Quinn in the penalty area. Hull City building over on the left hand side. In comes a challenge from Sagna, manages to avoid the corner kick. Mertesacker clears. That's I think what Hull are trying to do at the moment. They're just inviting Arsenal on, and then they'll try and break quickly, and they managed to beat the offside trap. Now nice play from Livermore, finding El Mohammadi down the right hand side. Some possession football now for Hull City. El Mohammadi plays the ball back into his own area. Chester has to be quick there, and Huddlestone helps him out, and Bruce finds Davis, and that's good polished football from Hull at the back as they spread the ball to the far side of the field and build now once more just inside the Arsenal half. Huddlestone, who's a good passer of the ball. Huddlestone now, and now it's Myler into Quinn. Quinn's flick forward, hoping that Fright this time will be given offside, and a free kick to Arsenal. But that's a bit better.
That was better.
Yeah.
That was better, wasn't it? Get a foot on the ball. That's how they started the game, passing the ball around. Everybody wanted it. They were moving it, two-touch football, and were making Arsenal work. They've just come back into that now. They've had a 10-minute spell where Arsenal's dominated the ball and pushed them back. And you've got to try and stay high and press the ball a little bit higher. They're not pressing the ball high enough for me, Hull.
Curtis Davis is there to tidy up as Giroud was poised to threaten. Arsenal will want more in midfield from Ozil, I'm sure. Jack Wilshere must be desperate to get into the game, sitting on the bench. Hull City's Livermore picks up Ozil, who again is looking for the free kick his way, but it's given against him. And Hull City now taking plenty of time over this. They'll leave it to Alan McGregor to come all the way out of goal. McGregor beaten by that Cazorla free kick, but Hull City striking twice inside the first 8 minutes here to really shock Wembley Stadium. And McGregor's clearance now towards us down this near side, towards the right hand side. El Mohammadi getting up with the defender. Gibbs under pressure, doesn't clear it very far. It was good pressure from Friat. Hull building again on the edge of the area, haven't cleared this yet. Arsenal not dealing with this. Shot driven in by Huddlestone. from 30 yards at least. It was rising all the way, though, into the Arsenal fans.
It was great technique, half volley as well, wasn't it? Comes down out the air, couple of challenges, and just can't get his knee above the ball as much as he wants. Good technique, always going high. That's a great outlet for Hull as well. Every set piece El Hamid, isn't he? He's fantastic in the air down his right side. Every free kick they just aim onto him. He gets a good run on it, great spring.
Chris Waddle and Marky Mackay with us on 5 Live. And Steve Bruce would have been so chuffed, really, to see the first goal going in particular the manner of the goal, because it came straight from the training ground, really. The corner kick, they picked out Huddleston, although he didn't connect that well. Chester was there to divert it home to give Hull City a lead. And now, as Arsenal try and build, Hull could be going forward again now, but Fright needs a bit of support just inside the Arsenal half. Arteta's trying to hold him up. Fright stabs it down the left-hand side to Myler. El Mohammedi's calling for it down the right. 2-1 to Hull City. Good turn from Quinn. Back again to Myler. Cross hasn't come in yet. Hull building patiently. Myler got a challenge in there from Arteta. Now can Arsenal build on the counter-attack here as Ramsey finds Ozil. Ozil's ball, Giroud was waiting for that. That was far too slow, and some of the Arsenal fans shaking their fists from just in front of us here because they want more endeavour than that, really, from Olivier Giroud. Barcelona are 1-up against Atletico Madrid in La Liga. Sanchez has scored the goal there, and if it stays like that, they will win La Liga in Spain against all the odds, really, considering the way the season's been going. Barcelona are 1-up here at Wembley. 37 minutes gone in the first half of the cup final, and Arsenal are chasing the game. They were 2-0 down, they're now 2-1 down. Ramsey's ball into Cazorla, who's the busiest player in this Arsenal side so far. Almost released Ramsey, but it just ran away from him in the end. And that's going to be a golden kick to Hull City. And Chris, you've been down there in the dressing room so many times. I mean, Steve Bruce will now want to get into that dressing room with this advantage. He won't want anything before half-time.
Of course he will. But then it's another team talk. Or will at least captain do it? But we'll just see what he's basically got asked for. More the same. Look after the ball, and he has got subs who can come on. Sagbo's very mobile, very quick. Luca's very clever on the ball. So he has got options. Boyd's very willing. So he has got options to freshen it up if he needs to, which I'm sure he will. But so far, you've got to say they've competed very well, and they've just got to keep pressing high.
Complete role reversal for him so far in the semi-final. They were outplayed in the first half, but he made changes at half-time and got his team back into the game against Sheffield United. Made 2 changes down the left-hand side. They were very effective. And now Hull tidying up at the back, and the ball travels through once more to McGregor, who gets a decent contact and drives the ball into the Arsenal half, and now it's loose. Gibbs will tidy up, and Gibbs finds Koscielny. So we're moving towards the last 5 minutes of the first half here. So much excitement early on for Hull. Gibbs ball again, Giroud waits for it, doesn't challenge Curtis Davis. Arteta can't cut that out, and Hull City growing again down the left-hand side. Rossignol preferred in that position today to Figueroa. Myler, good ball onto Quinn. Hull moving it around well. They find Chester on the halfway line. Now El Mohammedi's always great outlet, as Chris was saying, down the right. Hull looking very comfortable at the moment. Arsenal just having to watch as the ball goes into the centre circle, and Huddleston, who's such an important figure in this Hull City midfield. Another Spurs player, of course, Livermore, who could be going back there. He's on loan, finding El Mohammedi down the right. He accelerates, but now Arsenal can try and counter-attack. Koscielny, the Frenchman, moves inside the Hull City half. Ozil's made a run down the left. Koscielny sends it though towards Giroud, poor ball, and easily volleyed away by Curtis Davis. Ball back inside the Arsenal half, where Mertesacker having real problems against Friat, and it opens up now down the left-hand side for Rossignol of Hull City. 2-1 they lead. Myler infield to Livermore. Some defending perhaps for Arsenal to do right now as Huddleston works it down the right-hand side to El Mohammedi. El Mohammedi, one for Livermore to chase, wide on the right. Livermore on the edge of the area, ball into the far post, too heavy though for the centre-forward Friat. It's a throw-in over on the far side.
Wrong decision, wasn't it? He should have fizzed it across hard and low. Matty Friat's not going to really out-jump anybody. Livermore has done some fantastic running off the ball, running behind the midfield of Ozil, and he's caused a few problems. But that was a wrong selection of his cross there. He should have really fizzed that across the goal. What surprised me, Mike, is they got back into the game, Ozil, with a great set piece free kick, but they've not upped the tempo at all. They've not moved quickly. They're playing very slow. It's very easy for Hull to get a shape behind the ball. They're not moving the ball quick enough. There's no tempo about them.
Now here they go though with Cazorla Cazorla lays the ball off to Sagna down the right-hand side, and now back into midfield, and Ozil, and again it's all taking a little too long. It's a bit slow, it's a bit laboured. Giroud now tries to hold the ball on the edge of the area, surrounded by Hull City players. Huddleston's got it away from him. Earlier today, maybe an omen for Hull. St Johnstone winning the Scottish Cup for the first time, 2-0 against Dundee United, first time in their history. That of course is what Hull City are trying to do here today. Koscielny's got the ball, and there was so much talk before the game about the nerves afflicting Arsenal here today. Have you seen evidence of
Yeah, I think it has. They look very lethargic, and that's a lack of confidence and feeling a bit of pressure, isn't it? They look tired mentally, and you know, they shouldn't be. They've had a terrific finish to the season in the Premier League, 5 wins in a row, wasn't it? And they should have been really coming at this game, coming out the blocks quick. They're just playing far too slow, and it's very easy for Hull to get behind the ball and get a shape.
Maybe they need some input from Rosicky or Wilshere. Perhaps a little bit more acceleration in the second half. Now it's Ozil. Ozil now turning away from Myler. Ozil feeds Sagna down the right-hand side. 2-1 to Hull in the cup final. In comes across. No, it doesn't. Hull are there now to clear. Ball played to Interfried. He'll try and hold this, but he goes on and takes on Koscielny, but it's a good recovery from the Frenchman. And from distance plays the ball back to Fabianski.
Well, that's about pace, isn't it? And one thing Matty Fryatt is, so far he's really putting a shift in for the team, but he hasn't got that pace.
Scored 4 FA Cup goals and was told a week or so ago that he would be starting here today. No longer course, no Jelavic. They can't play, they're ineligible. And Arsenal still, as Chris Waddle's been saying, moving the ball too slowly, and Hull City can play against this all day, really. 2-1 they lead. Ramsey now trying to accelerate, take a little spin against Rossignol, but Myler was there to help him out. Hull City very well organised and holding that midfield area. Now Livermore inside the centre circle. He's got options left and right. Uses El Mohammadi down the right-hand side. It's Chester who started the ball rolling here with that goal after 3.5 minutes. Ball played back to McGregor, and McGregor clears. Towards the left back of Arsenal, Gibbs. El Mohammadi jumps, wins the header, does well. Fright's got away here. No, he hasn't. He's just given Koscielny a bit of a nudge on the edge of the area. I think he knew it as well. And there's a free kick.
It's tight though, isn't it? El Mohammadi again putting Gibbs under pressure. You've seen them not giving, and Koscielny for me as the centre-half should be a lot stronger than what we just saw.
Next goal will be very significant, and if Hull City get it, well, 3-1, it will be difficult to see Arsenal clawing that back. 2-1 to Hull City with 2 minutes to go in the first half. The ball is with Cazorla. Too many Arsenal players at the moment not showing. This is Ramsey now, who played of course for Cardiff in the cup final here of 2008. Ramsey again. And again it's walking pace from Arsenal. Ball is played into Giroud. Giroud trying to hold off Davis, and Davis is really doing well at the back for Hull City. And a good confident turn on the ball now from Quinn. Quinn's under pressure from Giroud. He's lost it. Giroud goes forward. Giroud's ball in towards Podolski. And there was a defender there in the nick of time for Hull City, but the ball is clear to Kieran Gibbs of Arsenal. Ball lifted in by Ozil. Easy header away. Was it Huddleston or El Mohammadi there?
Mohammadi.
Right. Oh, he did really well for them.
Yes, he just let it go. He got his body there. He was strong. Ball goes through him. Yeah, Quinn gives it away, trying a little Cruyff turn. Giroud does the right thing. Squares it. He does right. He just jumps over it. El Mohammadi tells a dummy.
Minute to go in the first half, and Arsenal have the possession over on the far side of the field. 2-1 to Hull City, and the ball is with Koscielny. Koscielny finding Mesut Ozil, who's just trying to find a bit more space now. There's not much for him inside the Hull half. Ozil again, initial movement is too slow though, you think. Hull have got so many players back behind the ball. Podolski, haven't seen very much of him. Cazorla onto Arteta. Again, it's very slow, this build-up from Arsenal. Cazorla now trying to sparkle things up in midfield. Cazorla gives it a little more urgently to Gibbs. Back again to Ozil. It's taking an awful long time, this from Arsenal, but it's difficult because Hull have got every player back behind the ball. Arsenal trying to turn on the edge of the area. Podolski squirts it to Cazorla. Cazorla with Giroud available, plays the ball into feet. In comes the cross. No, it doesn't in the end from Gibbs. It's gone into the side netting. It was all a bit laboured, that from Arsenal, and it's almost half-time.
Well, it's simple Arsene Wenger's team talk, isn't it? Play quicker, play a lot quicker. 1-2 touch, move the ball, switch the play. It's so easy for Hull at times to play against.
3 minutes of added time. Well, we have had a couple of stoppages in the first half, so 3 minutes of added time, and Arsenal prepare for McGregor's goal kick away to our left. In the second half, Hull City will be attacking the end where all their fans are. Equally, of course, Arsenal will be hoping to draw on inspiration from the red and white colours away to our right. Gibbs, high, rather innocuous ball into the Hull half. Giroud really hasn't had much change at all against Curtis Davies in this first half, and Hull now take the ball down the left-hand side of the field. This is the far side of the field. Rosinia against Sanya. 2-1 to Hull City on 5 Live and World Service. Maybe one more chance for Arsenal, but they surround. They're really working hard as well, as you'd expect them to do in a cup final, Hull, but those midfield players surrounding Ramsey, Cazorla, Ozil whenever they're in possession. And now Cazorla once more. Cazorla, again, the initial movement's a bit ponderous. Finding Sanya. This is what Arsenal will need. They'll need an injection of pace if they're going to unlock this Hull side in the second half. Now Cazorla, long floater, looking for Gibbs. Gibbs is going forward here, but good defending from El Mohammadi. Managed to get his foot in there, and the ball loops up gently for Alan McGregor.
That was great defending, wonderful ball. Cazorla dropping into midfield, left foot. Wonderful weighted pass over the head of Chester. El Mohammadi does ever so well to read the situation.
Added time at the end of the first half at Wembley. Only fry it downfield for Hull City. And now Arteta thumps again a poor ball back into the Hull defence. And it's all a little bit shapeless at the end of this first half. Curtis Davies has to be careful with his header, and he does enough to find Rosinia over on the left. 2-1 to Hull City. Rosinio's given it away. Sanya now sorts out his feet and gives it to Ramsey. One last chance for Arsenal to equalise before half-time. Ramsey, again surrounded by black and amber. Ozil to Gibbs. Arsenal have to be quick here. We're in added time and they're trailing 2-1 in the first half. Again, square ball from Mertesacker. Arsenal will need more creativity than this in the second half. Ball is building slowly once more with Cazorla. Steve Bruce watches on. Arsene Wenger sits down as Ozil easily dispossessed. Now can Hull counter and pick the right pass here down the right-hand side. El Mohammadi's kept it in. Livermore's the player furthest forward. El Mohammadi holds, and then in comes the cross. It'll go straight to Fabianski.
Well, got to say, where's your brains there? What are you thinking there? It's half-time. Just keep the ball down the right hand side. There's one player in the box, 3 red shirts round him. Just keep it, run the clock down. You're 2-1 up half time going in down the tunnel.
30 seconds to go at the end of the first half in added time. Hull City trying to win the FA Cup for the very first time in their history, playing in their first final. The overwhelming favourites Arsenal are trailing 2-1, and Arsenal have to play better in the second half. Here goes Myler. Myler now, given away, careless by Myler. Cazorla's gone past Huddleston, last chance for Arsenal. Cazorla, which way would he go? He finds Giroud. No, he doesn't find Giroud. He only found Curtis Davies. Lee Probert blows on the whistle for the final time to bring to an end a very eventful first half here at Wembley. The half-time score, Hull City 2, Arsenal 1.
Well, Malky Mackay, what a cup final, what a start. Arsenal have got themselves back into it, but Hull City have got their noses in front.
Well, Hull City have been absolutely fantastic, but for a 10-minute period after Cazorla's free kick, Hull have been very, very comfortable. The first 10 minutes they started off on fire. They won every ball, every challenge, every header. They scored their 2 goals, and Arsenal looked shell-shocked. The set piece got them back in it, Mark. And Cazorla has been the player that looks as if he's the guy that Arsenal are counting on at the moment from his set pieces.
So from Steve Bruce's point of view, what's the plan for the second half?
Well, more of the same. That's exactly what I'll be saying. They just need to squeeze up a little bit more. I mean, when they started off, they pressed them, and they just, maybe that back 3 just sometimes need to just come in maybe 5 yards, be brave and be 5 yards higher, because in reality Arsenal don't have the pace to run away from them, and that's been the problem. The game has been so slowly built by Arsenal, it's allowing Hull to actually get their men back in.
Maybe what we saw in that last counter-attack sums up Arsenal. Good break, sloppy final pass, this time from Cazorla, who's played well, but there's a lack of crispness about the Arsenal play.
Well, they look sluggish, and I don't understand why, but as I say, they've been playing too slowly all the way through. Cazorla's the one that looks at the moment as if he's the guy that could change the Arsenal way that they're playing at the moment, but at the same time I think Hull have been fantastic. I think Matt Fryatt, for someone who has come in, stepped in place of the 2 injured players, has been a fabulous focal point for them. Every time it goes up to him, he keeps it, and he's helping Jake Livermore come into the game. Quinn has been buzzing about in the midfield. Huddleston has been dictating midfield. The back 3 have been solid. They've given away 2 or 3 cheap free kicks, but overall the manager has to be very, very pleased with Hull.
At the moment, we're on course for a bigger shock as last year. It's Arsenal 1, Hull City 2 at half-time in the FA Cup final with Budweiser here at Wembley. By the way, in the Nou Camp, Barcelona 1 up. If it stays like that, Barcelona will win the title. Alexis Sanchez with the goal. And Diego Costa, the Atletico striker, the Spanish striker, off with a hamstring injury. The Champions League final, of course, just a week away against Real Madrid. So that's a real worry. And, of course, the World Cup under a month away. A real worry, both for Atletico and Spain, with that situation. Let's go to Rugby League. Hull everywhere you look, Dave Woods.
Absolutely. And it's Hull Kingston Rovers who are leading this one, the bit of local pride. Hull Kingston Rovers 18, Hull FC 6, 3 tries. Liam Salter with a couple, Leroyer with the other one, the Frenchman, and all 3 converted by Travis Burns. But Hull just clawing their way back into it with a Hadley try and a Miller goal. But a real discernible reaction to Hull City's early lead here. 1-0 to the Hull City, went up the chant from about 10,000 or so Hull fans, and I use the generic term, fans from Hull, but they've gone all a bit quiet since about that FA Cup final. I think they've been rather grabbed by the emotions of this game. 18-6 Hull Kingston Rovers lead.
But Hull City is still leading 2-1 here at Wembley as we go to Steve May at Lords, Middlesex and Sussex in the T20.
Yes, and the Sussex coach and Hull City fan Mark Robinson probably absolutely glad that he's at the cup final rather than being here, because Sussex were dismissed for 128. Only Chris Jordan's late 25 got them over the 100 mark. James Harris came back from a Ravi Bopara bashing in the earlier game to take 2 wickets for 10 off 3 in the Sussex innings. Middlesex now in reply 26 for 1. We're in the 5th over. They've lost Sterling to Jordan, out for 13. Milan and Morgan are at the crease at the moment. They put on 118 in the first match, but Essex won that by 8 wickets, chasing 181. Middlesex 26 for 1. We're in the 7th.
As we go to the newsroom, and Kate Williams.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet. This is BBC 5 Live.
The FA board member Heather Rabbatz is calling for the Premier League's chief executive to consider his position. There's growing pressure for Richard Scudamore to resign after sexist comments he made in a series of leaked private emails. Here's our sports news correspondent Richard Conway.
She goes on in this statement to call for the Premier League, on the Premier League, and says that they should need to, as a matter of urgency, review governance, to improve accountability and tackle head-on a culture that demeans women and seems to discourage their involvement in the game's administration.
The FA chairman, Greg Dyke, said the comments were horrible. Members of the Co-op have voted unanimously in favour of controversial proposals to overhaul the way the group is managed in the wake of the near collapse of its banking arm. The shake-up was proposed by the former City Minister Lord Miners, whose review of the organisation branded its board manifestly dysfunctional.
I think this is a turning point for the cooperative. It has recognised the need for fundamental changes in governance, and it has acknowledged the 4 basic pillars of my report. So I'm thrilled to get this outcome, but there's still a lot of work to be done and not a lot of time to do it.
A summit of 5 West African countries has ended in Paris with a pledge that they'll work together to tackle the threat posed by the militant group Boko Haram. It's still holding more than 200 girls, which it kidnapped from a Nigerian school. The Turkish authorities say the last 2 bodies have been retrieved from the Soma coal mine and the rescue operation is over. During a visit to Soma, the energy minister said 301 people died in the disaster. One of the 2 eastern Ukrainian regions attempting to break away has appointed a prime minister. Alexander Borodai says the newly formed People's Republic of Donetsk would soon apply to join Russia and merge with the other separatist region, Luhansk. The Ukrainian government, Kiev, rejects the breakaways. And many people have experienced the hottest day of the year so far. The UK's highest temperature of 23.9 Celsius was recorded in Downham in Suffolk.
This is BBC 5 Live. On digital, online, smartphone and tablet.
On the roads, 1 lane's blocked on the M62 eastbound between junctions 32 and 31 for Castleford and Pontefract. In North Yorkshire, the A65, that's currently closed both ways at Faisal near the Yorkshire Dales Falconry Centre. The A43, partially blocked at Deanthorpe in Northamptonshire, causing a few delays there. The A12 closed London bound at Brentwood. Finally, the A23 London Road, that's closed in both directions in Norbury. Kate Williams, 5 Live Travel.
We all have been in our garden saying, oh, I just want the World Cup, crazy.
Thierry Henry.
You always think that it's going to stay there, like that will never happen. Winning the World Cup at home at 20 years old, it's outstanding.
And here it comes, the World Cup is handed over by the President of France, Jacques Chirac, to Didier Deschamps, and there's a blue moon over
So you just lift it and you're like, hey! I can't even describe what the feeling that I had.
The 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil.
It's the one we've all been waiting for.
On BBC Radio 5 Live.
Well, Hull City are trying to win the FA Cup for the first time. St Johnstone have won their first major trophy in their 130-year history north of the border. They beat Dundee United 2-0 in the Scottish Cup final. Stephen Anderson and Stephen McLean with the goal in each half at Celtic Park. So here's the St Johnstone captain, Dave Mackay.
It's the best feeling in the world. It's incredible to finally win a trophy for St Johnstone. All the hard effort that goes in, we definitely deserve a day like this, so we'll enjoy it tonight.
You understand the DNA of this club. It's a small club, well run, sticks to its budget, and it's got its reward at last.
Yeah, that's it. We deserve it. You see clubs chasing a dream, throwing money at it that they've not got, and that's not the way we do things. We do things the right way, and finally we've got the reward for that.
And what about today? What was the secret? Because it seems that you had that game in your pocket early on. You had control. You knew what you were going to do.
Yeah, we did, but we also need a little bit of luck, which we had when they hit the post and hit the crossbar. We had the goal chalked off, but I think overall, we deserved it. We've done well against Dundee United this season, and we continue that on today.
What does it feel like? Describe this moment for people who'll never ever experience it.
To be honest, it's such a high. You go such a high, and at the minute it just feels like a little bit of a come down. But I'm sure we'll go over that and enjoy the celebrations tonight.
Well done.
Thank you.
Let's have a word with Roddy Forsyth. Roddy, was this a merited win for St Johnstone?
Yes, I think although Jackie McNamara, the Dundee United manager, contended that there wasn't much in the game, and that the teams were closely matched, and that it might have been different had United not hit the post and crossbar had these balls gone in, and you can't argue with that. Nevertheless, the fact that St Johnstone have won 4 out of 5 of the meetings of these sides this season, and generally speaking comfortably, I would suggest indicates quite clearly that Saints have United's number.
And we thought Steve would score. We were right and we were wrong, Roddy.
Yes, we would all been looking at Steve May. Those with a taste for superstition had pointed out that his name and squad number, May 17, is today's date, a perfect omen for a St Johnstone win, presumably crowned by him scoring. But instead, it was the other Steves, Anderson and McLean, one with a header, just as he'd done when the teams last met, and McLean, who doesn't often get the credit he deserves as Steve May's partner. But everybody gets credit from St Johnstone tonight. They don't need a bus to take them home. They're on cloud 9.
Thank you very much indeed, Roddy. If you're a St Johnstone fan, then 606 is the place for you. Not many of you call normally, but Jason Mohammed and Kevin Kilban are standing by for you. Gentlemen, good evening. Kevin, clearly with 45 minutes to go in the cup final, the next 45 minutes might shape exactly what sort of calls you get from Hull and Arsenal fans.
Yeah, hi Mark, how you doing? I just think it's been such an electric start to the game as well. Watching Hull, the way they've come out, listening to your commentary as well through them. It was brilliant, outstanding start from them. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this second half goes. It could dictate a number of things. Arsenal fans calling in to see how, what their thoughts are, say, on the side, Arsene Wenger's future, how that's going to go. And Hull fans, the way that they've played, a big half for both sides, both ways. It'd be interesting to see what's being said this evening. Yeah, we need your calls, definitely.
Jason, what other topics are you anticipating tonight?
Well, we also want to hear from people who've been at the Southend United Burton Albion League 2 playoff second leg as well. Mark, give us a ring if you want to talk to us on the World Cup. We'd love to hear from you. And Kevin wants your designated driver shout-outs. Who's driven you up and down the country this season? Who's driving you around today? We've picked a driving track each. Mine's much better than Kilban's, so we'll bring you those later to get your dedications in. 0500 909 693. The lines are open now. Text us 85058 or find us at BBC 606. And Mark, just before I go, I just want to say a big hello to Malky Mackay.
There you are, your friend Jason there from Radio Wales.
Absolutely, nice to talk to you again, Jason. How are you?
Yeah, very good, Malky. Very, very good. Yeah, you good? You enjoy the cup final?
Absolutely, Mr. Pugaci's looking after me.
Good man.
Lovely, Jason. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much indeed. 0500 909 693 85058 on the text. Mentioned Burton there, did Jason. They beat Southend 3-2 on aggregate to win a place in the League 2 play-off final. They will play Fleetwood in that final. Saracens overturned a half-time deficit to beat Harlequins 31-17 and reach their first Premiership final since 2011. Let's hear from the man whose try started the comeback after the break, Saracen centre Brad Barrett.
Very proud of the character and resolve within the team. I think a tough first half going down to 13 men, and against a quality team like Quins, they're going to make you pay for that. So obviously the try just before half time, we knew that we didn't have to come out that second half and fire, and I think we proved that. 20 unanswered points, and I think we had all the momentum in that second half. So again, it just shows the character within the squad to claw out of tough situations.
And it was your try, Saracens' first point in the second half, Brad, that started that ball rolling. You were sort of caught 10 metres short, you got up and went under the post. A special moment for you.
Yeah, fantastic. Obviously, to get it in a game like that and at a crucial stage in the game to turn the game and get us back into lead, it's obviously great reward for me, but just to help the team get back into that position is a very proud moment. So just proud of every guy in this team and the way they fought for each other, and the resolve and character was something to behold.
Before today, it looked like you'd have 3 cup finals in a row: Premiership semi-final, then the Heineken final, then the Aviva Premiership final. 1 down, 2 to go. What can you achieve this season, Brad?
Again, I think it's just reward for a hard year's work to get into 2 finals. But again, at the end of the season, you're not going to remember the finals. You're going to remember which ones you won, and we're going to have to put everything into it these next 2 weeks. There's no respite, no rest. We've got to come back Monday, nail our preparation, and look to tackle Toulon and Cardiff, who are a fantastic team and also in their top 14 final.
Brad Barrett with Chris Jones there. Saracens will play Northampton in the final, 31st of May, and you can hear it on 5 Live with us, of course. Elsewhere, Frankie Dettori returned to the top of British racing for the first time in nearly 2 years today. He landed the Group 1 lock-in stakes at Newbury on the 11-8 favourite Olympic Glory, trained by Richard Hannon. The success represented a first at the sport's highest level in Britain for Dettori, whose recent career has been dogged by a drugs ban and then by injury since Royal Ascot 2012. And Great Britain's women matched their best ever team result at the European Artistic Gymnastics by claiming a silver in Sofia in Bulgaria. The reigning champions Romania took gold, Russia in 3rd place. Malcolm Mackay just pointed out to me that Jack Wilshire's going through a warm-up with a Chesney at half-time. It'll be interesting to see what Arsene Wenger does at the break, if anything, because that was a very dramatic first half.
After 3 minutes, Hull have the first corner. It was played wide, actually. It's my goodness, it's a goal! Chester has put Hull City in front.
Both fans are going absolutely mad, so I left.
1-0. Quinn turns. Quinn crosses into the penalty. Hit it down. Hit the post. It's 2-0. It's knocked in by Curtis Davis, the Hull captain. An unbelievable first 8 minutes in the FA Cup final.
Well, listen, Arsenal have got the ability to turn this round. I know it doesn't look at it at the minute. They look flat. They're looking for inspiration. There's nobody grabbing the ball. They've just not started, Arsenal.
Lee Probert was a little quick to blow his whistle there, but Arsenal won't be that unhappy because they've got a free kick in a dangerous position. Cazorla is there. Here he comes forward. Right foot, it swings and it goal. Great goal! Fabulous free kick from Cazorla, and Arsenal are back in it.
Arsene Wenger walks the touchline a little bit happier after seeing that. It's a response which he didn't see coming.
Lee Probert blows on the whistle for the final time to bring to an end a very eventful first half here at Wembley. The half-time score, Hull City 2, Arsenal 1.
Malky, very quickly, we have no idea, do we, what's going to happen in this second half?
No, you would really hope that Arsene Wenger has said we need to counter quicker, we need to get at them quicker. Hull, Steve Bruce is actually just saying more of the same, boys, more of the same, but it'll be interesting as to maybe Arsene's changes, whether Sinogo comes on early or whether Wiltshire, he needs Wiltshire on first.
Here's Alan Green with Hull City 2-1 in front.
Well, this is Mike Ingham's last FA Cup final, so I feel duty bound to make sure that he gets a goal. No, take your chances, Mike. It'll come. Second half is underway. I was going to hand over early. Arsenal trail 2-1. There are no changes in either of the lineups at the start of the second half, though you can be sure that Wiltshire will make an early appearance for Arsenal in this second period if Arsenal don't make further inroads into that Hull defence. These are the two 11s. Arsenal's goalkeeper is Fabianski. The defence, Sanya, Mertesacker, Koscielny and Gibbs. Then Ramsey and Arteta. Then Ozil, Cazorla and Podolski. And finally Giroud, who's been useless. Hull City's goalkeeper is McGregor. Their back three, Chester, Bruce and Davis. Chester and Davis got their goals. Then the wing-backs, El Mohammadi and Rossignol. Between them, Livermore, Mailer and Huddleston. And finally Quinn, who I think has been their best player in the first 45 minutes, and Fryatt. Arsenal 1, Hull City 2 here at Wembley, and Arsenal dare not play as slowly as they appeared to play in that first period. Here's Mertesacker up towards the halfway line, taps it back to the captain Arteta, and on to Koscielny. Koscielny still inside the Arsenal half. Of course, Hull mustn't sit too deep. I suppose when you got the lead, when it's especially such an unexpected lead, Chris, you know, that will be in your mind. Sit deep, and all what we have.
Yeah, that's just the way footballers think. They think going deeper protects the goal. It doesn't. It causes more problems. It's proved over the years. It's interesting how Arsenal have started. Cazorla's really playing wide out on his touchline. Podolski's sort of left. They're all still not. There's no spark about Arsenal. They're all moaning, arms thrown around. There don't seem to be any urgency, which is all good advantage for Hull, who we've got to say so far have done their jobs very, very well.
Well, Hull are taking their time over this free kick, and the referee Lee Probert is reminding them to get on with it. He's watching his watch. So, free kick to be taken by the Hull skipper, Curtis Davies. Score of their second goal, driven upfield towards Fryatt. Fryatt beaten in the air by Mertesacker, no surprise, he's 6'7", the German. And now here's Koscielny. Koscielny to the far side, and Gibbs header off the goal line when it was 2-0 to Hull. At 3-0 you wouldn't have given anything for Arsenal chances, but that Cazorla free kick has brought them back into the FA Cup final. That's a poor touch by Giroud. That just mirrors his game. How does he start for France, Chris?
Well, you have to see what the French players think when they play balls into him like that, but that was a simple layoff. He's put it straight out of place. Sanogo was warming up as well, so with Wilshere and Rosicki, so I think he'll make quick changes. He's going to give it 10 minutes in. I think there'll be changes.
Mertesacker was just stretching there. He seemed to catch Quinn, but I think the ball's out of play. It's going to be a throw into Arsenal. And Steve Bruce questioning whether Lee Probert made the right decision there. He thinks it should have been a free kick for his side. Sagna throws back to Mertesacker. We've already played 3 minutes in the second half, and no marked increase in the verve from Arsenal. And it was noticeable here. We've got many Arsenal fans in front of us, and of course the bulk of them to our right. But when a player like Giroud did something wrong, goodness, they were up on their feet and yelling abuse towards the Arsenal offender. So they're not happy, the Arsenal supporters. How could they be when Hull City lead this FA Cup final by 2-1? Mertesacker was certainly pushed there. The referee allows play to continue because the advantage with Arsenal, they've got possession. Koscielny to Arteta, and away to Ramsey, back to Koscielny. You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Earlier, St Johnstone won the Scottish Cup final, beating Dundee United by 2-0. Mertesacker up and over the halfway line, near side of the field. That's the Arsenal right. Arsenal defending the goal to our left in the second period, so they're playing towards their supporters. On the far side, it's with Ramsey. Ramsey taps it over the halfway line to Ozil, who once more has been largely a disappointment for Arsenal. He gets the ball back from Ramsey, does the German, and he's still inside his own half. Gingerly moves forward. Now a little bit of an injection of pace. Finds Podolski, back to Ramsey, on towards Ozil. The ball allowed to run. Ozil's into penalty, pulls it back, should be cleared, and it is cleared by Rosignor, out of play on the far side of the field.
Oh, that was better play. Getting a little ball over the top there. Podolski putting him through, and decent ball across, but no red shirts arriving. They're still very one-paced. And Hull, for me, yes, Arsenal are making it a lot easier for them because they're not playing a high tempo, but they are very deep. Look, they're not coming out at all.
No, they're not now. I mean, you're looking certainly for the wing-backs to get forward, and largely they're happy to sit deep. Here's Mertesacker over the halfway line, near side, Arsenal right to Sagna, onto the goal scorer Podolski's. His back heel doesn't work, and it's cleared by Hull in the direction of Fryatt. Koscielny gets there first and wins the ball easily for Arsenal. Finds Mertesacker into Ramsey, wide to Cazorla, who takes his eye off the ball, and it's out of play for a Hull City throw.
You've got to say, Hull basically, Mail has gone down.
The referee saying get up.
Yeah, get up, or get off the pitch. You're only a yard away from the pitch touchline, so he can get off. Yeah, he's pushed them off. Look, you don't want to see this second. He's come back on the pitch. Look, so he's come back on the pitch.
Well, the referee should book him. You know, he's been told to get off the pitch. He then deliberately stood back on it, certainly holding up play, and we probably wasted a good 45 seconds in that. Throw in finally to Hull City. Thrown to Quinn, and then back to Rosignor. Rosignor is fouled by Arteta. Arteta complains to the assistant, but it's certainly a free kick to Hull City, and they won't mind if it's untidy like this.
No, if it's,
and who could blame them, actually, Chris?
Exactly, Alan. It's scrappy. It's not. He never even touched him, by the way. Arteta, we just saw the replay. Never got near him, but there'll be no rush for this free kick. Trouble is, he's going to have to hit Al-Hamidi, which is right across the field.
There you go. Huddleston drives it away towards the far side of the field, towards El Mohammadi. He jumps with Gibbs, neither of them make contact with the ball, and it's out of play for a throw into Arsenal. Very untidy start to the second half, of which we've already had 6.5 minutes. Again, a cloud over Wembley Stadium. We're told it's going to be a glorious sunny day. Well, apart from a couple of hours, it's been overcast, but it's certainly very warm. Cazorla for Arsenal. Back to Sanya. Into Mertesacker, and the Arsenal fans sense that their team needs encouragement. We could have told them that. That's a good ball in towards Giroud, whose touch was not good enough, and it's cleared. There was a Hull player down injured at the moment, but Hull have the ball. Livermore to the far side, and El Mohammadi just short of the halfway line. He taps it out of play, so the Hull defender can receive treatment. It's got to be Alec Bruce.
It is, yes. It was a good tackle, by the way, on Giroud. Promising attack this time. Ramsey fizzes it in. And it's a great tackle. Bruce just gets there. Giroud's caught him accidentally. There's nothing in it.
On the right knee, just caught him on the right knee.
Yeah. Slow the game down. Arsene Wenger's not happy. Look, jack it off.
Well, he was caught, Arsene. We've seen the replay. He was caught on his right knee. Steve Bruce had a long chat with Sagbo at the half-time interval. Aluko, was it? Sorry.
Yeah, I can see him coming on in Stephen Quinn's role. I'm sure he said to Matthew Fright and Stephen Quinn, look, I know you don't play every week.
Run yourselves into the ground.
Just give everything you've got for an hour, and then I can put 2 fresh players on.
Well, we've already played 8 very untidy minutes in the second half. The scoreline remains Arsenal 1, Hull City 2. Alec Bruce is coming off, having received attention. I'm sure he's okay. And Arsenal have been thrown on the far side of the field, and they're duty bound to give the ball back to Hull City. Both Arsene Wenger and Steve Bruce have taken their jackets off, reflecting the temperature. And there's no need to delay passing the ball back to McGregor there. There's no way Giroud was going to challenge for it. Anyway, play is resumed. It's headed on towards Frad on the far side of the field. Frad wins the ball off Koscielny when he shouldn't have done. It's deep inside the Arsenal half, close to the corner flag. Frad half thinking of playing it off the defender behind for a corner, but he keeps it in play. It's with El Mohammadi. El Mohammadi to Huddleston. A little bit of room for Huddleston to think about shooting. Drives the shot in. He's always rising, and it's over the crossbar.
Yeah, you've got to say that was a good play by Hull. Positive play. Matty Fright again chasing the ball he should never have got. Linked the play up well. And Huddleston, very technical. 2 very good feet. Just always rising above the crossbar.
We're obviously expecting an appearance by Wilshere, but Rosicky and Sinogo are warming up. Oh, here's Wilshere as well. I don't think Arsene Wenger can wait that long before he makes changes.
Well, what I saw so far, start the second half, they've shown nothing of Arsenal. It's still one pace, very easy for Hull.
Ramsey crosses in towards Giroud. Giroud doesn't make contact with the ball, and it's running harmlessly through to McGregor. 10 minutes gone in the second half. This is 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Arsenal 1, Hull City 2. And Barcelona are still leading Atletico Madrid 1-0 in the Camp Nou. Clearance by McGregor, headed back by Arteta into the Hull half. It's bouncing around there, and then Alec Bruce flicks it forward. Sanya heads it down, runs to Huddleston. Goodness, Huddleston's strong. Holds off Cazorla easily, plays it to El Mohammadi, that's his name, down the right side, and on to Huddleston, level with the edge of the penalty area. Now, this is promising. Huddleston plays the 1-2, into the box it goes, and they can't pull the ball back, but it may have gone behind off a defender. Everything the assistant gives a goal kick.
Good play. Huddleston leaving the middle of the park. Huddleston goes wide, and he plays a lovely little give and go. We'll fry it. Really, he's looking to cross it. There's nobody there. And that's good defending. Goal kick.
Bucky, what are your impressions in the opening stages of the second half?
I think Hull have started again very, very comfortably. I'm really impressed with Matt Fryatt today. The way that he's led the line and he's caused the centre-back's problems, and he's linked up the game up really well. Arsenal at the moment, they're really not getting Mehmet Ozil into the game at all, and at the moment they're still building the game very, very slowly.
Far too slowly. They're trailing Hull City by 2-1. Koscielny has the ball. Forward it goes to Arteta, just to the right of the centre circle, on the halfway line. Sanya, back to Mertesacker. Hull's defence is just standing up well at the moment. looking after the red shirts deeper in the half. Now Giroud plays it into Ramsey. Ramsey caught by Livermore. It's a free kick. Referee Lee Probert was only a few yards away, and no doubts about the decision.
Well, Livermore, I think he plays the ball. I just saw the replay of Allen, and that was a fair tackle. The referees give it. Ramsey went down. The referees blew, which I don't think's a big problem for Hull. Yes, there'll be a ball delivered into the box, but they seem to deal with them pretty well.
The sun's out again. Atletico Madrid have equalised. It's 1-1 in the Nou Camp. It's 2-1 here at Wembley. Hull leading Arsenal. Arsenal free kick, 40 yards from goal, towards their right side. Ozil or Arteta to take it. It's Ozil flicking it in left-footed, skims off the head of a defender and it's behind for a corner.
Yeah, there's a lot of Hull players attack, and it was Bruce again who gets there first, and it's a corner to Arsenal.
Corner towards the far side of the field. That's the Arsenal left, in front of Arsenal fans. It's all red to the right, all amber and black to the left at Wembley Stadium. Cazorla, scorer of the goal, takes the corner, played in deep, aimed deliberately at Mertesacker, comes off the head of a defender. Ozil has it, keeping it in play on this near side. Back it goes to Ramsey. Gibbs is an obvious pass, and it goes to the left full-back. Everybody bar Fabianski is inside the whole half. There's the cross, out comes McGregor, and Giroud goes down. He's furious. He turns and bellows at the defender. He looks to the assistant. Well, initially, Giroud was pulling on Huddleston's arm. Then definitely Huddleston made contact with Giroud.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't.
How many times this season have we talked about incidents in the penalty area where usually it's the defender who's at fault, putting his arms around an attacking player? Anyway, Giroud, get up and get on with it. You surely have the pedigree to do better than this. Now it's with Ozil down the right side, tapped out of play by the seniors, throw into Arsenal. Already nearly 14 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Arsenal 1, Hull City 2. Sanya's throw to Cazorla. Sanya again. Sanya's pass was loose. Hull cleared into the Arsenal half, but only into Arsenal possession with Mertesacker. To Koscielny. I'm amazed that Wenger isn't out there, urging them to play with much greater pace.
Well, he's just sent one of his staff to go and get Sanogo.
Sanogo? Really? I've doubts about Giroud, but let's say Sanogo's best days are in his future. Now, there's a free kick for a foul on Cazorla, and we're going to have a yellow card
for Huddleston.
Yeah,
it was a late challenge, and he was never going to get it. It was just a matter of time before he got a card out. He's been very patient, the referee. Could easily book 2 or 3 players. Huddleston's the first in the book.
Do you reckon that Sanogo's a better option than Giroud?
At the minute, yes.
Because of the way he's playing?
Yeah. He'll probably score from this set piece now.
Right, Ozil to take the free kick. Inside right position for Arsenal. 45 yards from goal. Played in left-footed. Deep looking for Mertesacker. Well defended by Hull City. Headed clear. But the pressure still on. And then Gibbs makes a mistake. Oh, unfortunately for Hull, Quinn wasn't quite quick enough to take full advantage of that. Gibbs managed to get back and play the ball back to Fabianski. So we played 60 minutes of the FA Cup final at Wembley. If you'd been told that after an hour Hull would be leading 2-1 before kick-off, well, no, I don't think any of you would have believed it. But it's, again, a very indifferent performance by Arsenal, a very good performance by Hull City. Sanya, level with the edge of the Hull penalty area, to Ozil, into Ramsey, back towards Ozil. It was telegraphed, that pass. It went to the defender, and it's clear. And Fratt chases after it. Mertesacker's the man under pressure. Mertesacker did well. He's then pulled down by Matty Fratt, and it's a free kick to Arsenal.
Matty Fratt has put a terrific shift in up front, hasn't he? And I don't know how long he can keep going. He's chasing everything. He's caused the 2 centre Arsenal a lot of problems.
It's Podolski who's being taken off. I think Podolski was taken off against Wigan as well.
I've got to say, he hasn't really touched the ball, has he?
No, he hasn't. Well, I mean, we've been critical of Giroud, but I'm not sure Podolski's been playing. Anyway, he's coming off now. The attendance is 89,345. And you know which half of the stadium is more happy? Happier even. Hull City, because their team leads by 2-1. To think that they were going into administration before the takeover by the Alams. and the owner will be watching on here. All the controversy this season about the name, he wants it changed to Hull Tigers, not boring Hull City, he said. The fans are overwhelmingly against that. Today there is one cheering the team on for what would be such an unexpected result here at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup final. But there's still 28 minutes to go. Arteta for Arsenal, the Arsenal captain, onto Giroud, flicked in the direction of Sagna. Sagna into Giroud again. The pass was poor, intercepted by Hull. And here's Frat. Frat gives the ball away to Arteta. And now Giroud to Cazorla. Giroud, Cazorla, good move by Arsenal. Sanigo with a back heel. It's edge of the penalty area. And now Sanigo's inside the penalty area. Goodness, Huddleston left a leg in there. Almost caught the player. Arsenal still on the attack, but that's surely behind the goal line. It is behind the goal line. It's a goal kick.
Well, that was the quickest we've seen Arsenal play today. Little give and goes. Everybody got involved, but there was never any end product again. They got in good positions. The final ball let them down. Sanogo, then he runs across the box with it. Lacking ideas, eventually just basically run it out of play.
A little encouragement though for the Arsenal fans. And Cazorla, he placed the ball in the box for the goal kick to be taken, and McGregor's within his rights to move it to the other side of the box because he wants it there.
Well, you expect the Hull to get a little bit more of the ball now because they are playing now 4-4-2. Arsenal, 2 strikers. You expect Hull to get a little bit more room in midfield.
18 minutes played in the second half, 27 to go. At the moment, Hull City leading Arsenal by 2-1, and Arsenal simply are not playing well enough. But they weren't playing well enough for a long spell in that game against Wigan. Then they equalised, went into extra time, then it went to penalties, and now they've got a corner. Bruce puts it behind.
I think Steve Bruce must be thinking, how can I get this energy going back again from the front? Because Matthew Fry's put a shift in, Quinn's put a more of a shift in. Quick corner.
It's tapped short. The ball played in towards Sanogo. Didn't get a firm enough header on the ball. Headed away though by Livermore. It's going behind for a corner kick to Arsenal. This time from the opposite side, from the Arsenal right.
They've got to switch on Hull. They're getting it tired now. Tired Mains as well.
Cazorla to take it. Easily one of Arsenal's better players today. Scorer of their goal, sumptuous free kick, takes this corner kick, right-footed, swinging outwards. Oh, header by Koscielny, wide of goal. Oh, is it Ramsey? No, it was Koscielny.
Well, you've got to say, he gets up.
Should have got that in target.
Yes, but why doesn't anybody react? Look, he gets up there first. He heads it towards the goal, goes well away. Nobody reacts on the follow in. It's a simple tapping at the far post if somebody gambles. But Hull now are looking tired, I've got to say.
As you would expect.
Yes, they've put a terrific shift in. It's a very warm day, very humid. And Steve Bruce now has got to start looking at getting a couple of subs on, freshen it up.
Well, he's brought one on, Sanogo, taking Podolski off. And the Arsenal supporters absolutely livid at the time McGregor's taking before he finally smacks the free kick over the halfway line. And, well, a couple of, at least one change coming up now. For Hull City, Paul McShane will be coming on. Now is that Bruce down again? Yeah, Bruce has gone down.
I think he's done, that's why he's got McShane coming on.
Maybe he is quote done, fitness-wise.
Yeah, he is. There's another one coming under behind as well, no? No,
just McShane for the start. 25 minutes to go. It's asking a lot. I do think Bruce is actually injured here. You can tell in the close-ups in his face, he's not making it up. He's injured, and he'll be replaced by McShane. He's back on his feet, but he's hobbling, and he'll take quite a while to get to this near touchline before he exits and McShane comes on. Arsenal 1, Hull City 2 on 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Arsene Wenger protesting about the time it's taking for Bruce to leave the pitch. He looks towards the referee, he looks to his right towards the assistant. He knows what the game is about. Arsenal will do exactly the same thing.
Every club's the same.
You know, in the circumstances.
Every club
He referred to the win in 2005 against Manchester United as ugly. You know, there were aspects of taking too much time over everything to that game. So he just get on with it. But I'm sure the referee, I'm sure Lee Probert is taking full account of the time that these goal kicks are taking and that substitute is taking is certainly rather more than 30 seconds. Marky Mackay, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, again, Arsenal have put Sonogo on, they've thrown him on, they've gone 4-4-2 up front. That's his throw of the dice for the last 20 minutes or so, Alan. Again, Hull just need to keep coming up. The deeper they end up, the more that Cazorla's beautiful set pieces and crosses will end up being impacted in the game. But Hull are doing well, and it's just whether they can actually keep the discipline and keep, I suppose, their tempo going for the last 20 minutes or so. You might see another couple of substitutes.
Here's Ramsey glides the ball forward. It was flicked on by Ozil, but didn't reach the intended target. That was Sonogo. Huddleston clears the busy Quinn on the far side of the field. He's had a really good game. Quinn on now to Livermore. Fry's inside the penalty, played in towards Fry, but it took a deflection off a defender and ricochets to Arsenal's satisfaction, and they can build down the far side. They're left forward to Ozil on the halfway line. A little more urgency about Arsenal. Good ball to Cazorla in the penalty area. Cazorla check. Was he thrown down? No, he's gone down, but he doesn't get the penalty kick. We're halfway through the second half. We're 3/4 of the way through the game. 45 minutes ago, Hull were leading 2-1. They're still leading 2-1. And here's Mike Ingham.
Thank you, Alan. I'm surprised Arsene Wenger hasn't been more apparent in the technical area, really, trying to wake up his team. He's coming out now to speak to the linesman down there about that incident a few moments ago. In the meantime, his team are having to defend over on the far side. El Mohammadi, who's had a really good game, plays the ball back to Quinn. Hull have had very few moments inside the Arsenal half in the second half, but now Livermore's there, and he's dragged a shot so wide. I think it's going to be a throw-in down this near side, which was going to be the Arsenal right. So 2-1 to Hull City. Chris has just seen a replay of that penalty appeal.
Well, all I'll say is that he plays the ball first, and then he does follow through and take Cazorla down, so it's a very hard call. You've seen them given, I've got to say.
2-1 to Hull City. They scored their goals inside the first 8 minutes. They will need reinforcements, though, surely, as Cazorla, who's probably been Arsenal's best player, finds Gibbs over on the left-hand side. Now it's down the centre to Sonogo. It's still not maybe as quick as it should be from Arsenal to unlock this Hull side. El Mohammadi's there again, tracking back against Gibbs over on the far side. El Mohammadi does well, plays it to McShane. McShane gives it back again to El Mohammadi, and that's a decent clearance back to the halfway line. Koscielny almost headed that at Mertens. It almost wriggled its way through to Fryett, and now that was a bit unnecessary, that challenge from Myler. It was a block on Koscielny, and he's going to get a yellow card for it.
Well, they've just got to keep the discipline, Hull. They're starting to tire, not just physically, mentally as well. You can see that they're getting a little bit loose, they're getting pushed back. Ozil now are trying to put a little bit more pressure on, and he didn't really catch him. We saw the replay, but the referee didn't have the best views, give the yellow card.
And also we wonder here, as we look at the Arsenal substitutes, how soon it will be before Wilshere comes into the game, and maybe Radzicki as well, to try and add a little injection of pace following the free kick. It's 2-1 to Hull. The ball with Cazorla just inside, all the Hull City players back inside their own half, playing very, very deep. Ball back with Koscielny inside the centre circle, into Giroud's feet. Giroud trying to turn the defender, but McShane clears. He really hasn't been able to turn the defenders at all, Giroud, today. Curtis Davies has had a really good game at the back, and Arsenal try again, but it's dangerous from Hull, really, just inviting Arsenal onto them here, looking to just try and play on the break. It's Ozil back inside the Arsenal half. Ozil's pass into Ramsey. Haven't seen a great deal of him in the second half. Gibbs again down the left-hand side. Gibbs ball forward. Again, Giroud was waiting for it, but now he's won it back against McShane. Giroud in the penalty area. Pull the ball back, and Sonogo splashed that into the side netting.
Well, he's given a corner out of that, and the whole players are not happy about the decision, is it? There's the ball. It's a little bit better by Giroud. Gets to the byline, fizzes it near post.
Wilshere could be coming on in a moment. First, this Arsenal corner, trailing 2-1. Mertesacker makes his way towards the near post. Corner to Arsenal over on the far side. All their defenders are behind the goal. They are attacking. In it goes. Headed on, and a chance, and Arsenal have scored! It's turned inside the 6-yard area, and it was Koscielny who's lying flat on his back who made it, and he may be injured as well. They're beckoning to the trainer to get on immediately, but following the corner kick over on the far side, Arsenal celebrate. They're a little bit uncertain about Koscielny's fitness, but it's 2-2.
Well, he must have got the slightest of touches, and it's the first time Hull have gone to sleep on a set piece, really. The ball comes in, it's a good header down. Who's marking Koscielny? And he just gets the slightest of touches from, 3 yards out? They're looking at his ankle at the moment. He has the corner coming in, we've got the benefit of the replay. It's a good header, it's a deflection, but who's marking Koscielny from the set piece? They've let him go. I think he comes off the back of Chester, doesn't he? He comes off the back of Chester from the set piece, and he just gets the slightest of touches past McGregor, but he's up and he's back on.
They've been living dangerously, Hull, in the second half, and Chris Waddle's made the point several times, really, that they're looking a little tired. They surely need reinforcements. It's 2-2. Malky Mackay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it again there from the corner. It's very, very unfortunate. It comes off the back. There's a couple of ricochets and it actually drops to Koscielny. He does well, but again, it's a set piece that's helped Arsenal out here. It's not, clever play. It's anything. All day, it's been the set pieces from Cazorla that's actually got them back into this game here at the moment. And now they've got 15 minutes to actually go on and win the game.
Thank you very much indeed, Malky. 5 live and well service. 2-2 at Wembley. Mesut Ozil tries to pick out Giroud. Curtis Davis tries to hold him up. Sonogo's boot was a bit high and it's a free kick. Koscielny's come back on again. Doesn't look great at the moment.
Well, he'll be all right.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, he's a tough cookie. I mean, listen, they're back in it now. They're on top. Hull look very, very tired, physically, mentally as well. He must have thought, oh no, the one thing he didn't want, something to defend. And you know what? They've just shown the replay. It was a goal kick, not a corner where it come from. Look,
really?
He didn't even touch the ball. It was the Ozil player, Sonogo pushes it out. They got that wrong, and they've scored from the set piece.
And 3 of the 4 goals, by the way, have come from centre-backs here today at Wembley. We had Chester and Davis for Hull City, a Cazorla free kick, and now Koscielny to make it 2-2. And
Luca coming on.
Yep, Aluko is coming on for Hull City. The first change they're going to make, and they're going to take off Quinn, who's run himself into the ground here. So, as forecast by Chris, Shirley Aluko comes on, and Quinn to make his way off. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, it's trying to freshen it up. Maybe could have done it a few minutes earlier, but they've been defending well, and really you can't say Hull's had a bad player today. They've put a terrific shift in, and Quinn has certainly done that. He's run himself into the ground, and Luka has got a bit of skill, bit of pace. Good substitution.
Arsenal are fortunate in the sense that they had enough time to come back into this game. Hull got their goals inside the first 8 minutes. And although they've never approached anything like normal quality Arsenal, they're back in at 2-2. And maybe you just sense that the force is with them at the moment, with nearly half an hour gone in the second half at Wembley. So Lauren Koscielny has made it 2-2, scrambled in from that corner, which Chris has had another look at and says shouldn't really have been awarded to Arsenal in the first place, when Sonogo went in at the near post. And Arsenal now building from the back once more. It's with Mikel Arteta. Hasn't really imposed himself in the game today. Arteta on the edge of the centre circle. Steve Bruce hasn't sat down at all. He's still out there. We've seen very little of Arsene Wenger in the technical area. Long ball forward now. Giroud will give chase to the far side of the field, and he's kept it in. Managed to get it towards the penalty area, but well spotted by McShane, and McShane clears not very well. Straight back to Arsenal. Hull looking a bit laboured at the moment. Arsenal building through midfield. Ramsey doesn't win the tackle against Huddleston. Aluko gets his first touch. Arteta just knocks him off the ball, and that's not good from Arteta, because it's given Hull now a chance to regroup and to get the ball inside Arsenal territory.
Well, I'm just trying to think how Hull can take this to the advantage, and at the minute all you can see them is the defending, and I just can't see Hull getting a chance even. They're just so deep, they're so tired, and it's all Arsenal really. All are going to do well to take this extra time.
McGregor takes his time again and tries to get a big one into the Arsenal half. It's headed on by El Mohammadi, and Fright is running well towards the corner flag and steps on the ball, flicks it back for throw into Arsenal, and Kieran Gibbs is there. Gibbs by the corner flag. Arsenal 2, Hull City 2 in this 2014 FA Cup final. Hull City leading 2-0 inside the first 8 minutes or so of this game. The ball drops at the feet of Ramsey, and Ramsey finds Sagna down the right-hand side. Ozil's made a run, Sagna holds. Feeds it a bit short into Arteta. He had to scamper there against Aluko. And Mertesacker retrieves and prepares to go forward. So Arsenal have scored their goals from set pieces here today. One from Cazorla, which we felt McGregor might have done better against in goal. And then that corner kick, which was eventually turned in by Koscielny inside the 6-yard area. 2-2 Ramsey for Arsenal. A little bit nervous again, Arsenal, as the ball goes back to Fabianski, who's had very little action in this second half. Sagna again, and still Arsenal moving the ball initially too slowly. Mertesacker looks up, thought about hitting a long one towards Sanogo. They've got him out there as a target man as well now. Goes into Sanogo's feet. Sanogo's flicked down the right-hand side. Myler tidies up, but Hull don't deal with it. Again, that was a tired clearance at the back. And then a mistake to lay the ball now for Giroud of Arsenal. It's got it behind Ozil. In goes Ramsey. Chance for Sanogo. But it'll be cleared by El Mohammadi over on the far side. Arsenal almost opening up Hull City after a self-inflicted error there by Hull City. And you sense that the moment's there for Arsenal, but now fantastic running from inside his own half from Aluko. He's got 4 Arsenal defenders around him. Surely he can't get any further here. Up against Koscielny. Aluko holds, buying time for his team. Then spreads the play down the left-hand side to Rossignol. Rossignol back again to Aluko, looking really lively on the edge of the area. Back with Rossignol once more. Aluko flicked it on. Arsenal looking to clear now through Sagna. And Sagna's little dink ball towards Sanogo. Chester does just enough there, and McShane tidies up.
That is the problem. Aluko looked very sharp there. Terrific skill, terrific quick feet. But it's when they lose it, getting back. They committed a few shades forward there, and Arsenal wasted possession.
Well, they started with 3 centre-backs. One of them has had to go off through an injury, the manager's son, Alex Bruce. They've now got McShane playing alongside Chester and Davis, and the ball is going to come their way once more, you sense, as Arsenal now build again through midfield. Still no Wilshere, which is perhaps a bit of a surprise. 12 minutes to go. Sagna now into Cazorla. Sagna went for the return. Hull closing down well here. The ball reaches Ramsey again though. Ramsey back again to Cazorla. Giroud waits on the edge of the area. Cazorla moves infield. It goes a little flick from Giroud. Sanogo's angle is awkward. Doesn't get the first shot in. May get another chance. Here's a chance now for Gibbs. Oh, it's over the bar from Kieran Gibbs. The moment was there for Gibbs to give Arsenal the lead for the first time, and it's gone into the crowd.
Oh, you're not going to ask for a better chance, are you? You can see now Hull are hanging on. Sanogo does well, doesn't he? Goes to a challenge, another challenge, squares it across the goal. Gibbs stops it. He's just got to hit the target. Hits it high over the crossbar. What a chance with 10-12 minutes to go. Oh, glorious chance.
That was almost a Anne Smith must score situation, but we still have 10 minutes to go here, so not quite as dramatic. So goal kick to Hull City, hanging on a bit here. And McGregor to take this clearance for them. Still 10 minutes to go. Arsenal haven't played well, but they're certainly very much in this game now, 2-2, having been 2-0 down. Arsenal win the ball again in midfield, and it's with Cazorla. Sanogo is proving to be a useful ally now alongside Giroud. It's Aaron Ramsey now inside the penalty area. Ramsey's ball in towards Cazorla, who threw himself down looking for the penalty. Arsenal fans howl. There isn't much of a protest from anyone on the pitch though, and Hull clear. But again, it's a hopeful one really, looking to try and use Aluko's pace, but he can't control it. Sagna's overhead clearance goes straight back into the Hull defence, and Rossignol, all he can do is keep it in and then give it back to Arsenal. Well, it's very, very tense now with 10 minutes to go on this humid, sultry, early evening at Wembley. The Cup final coming to its climax. No replays, of course, in 2014. It'll have to be settled here. Sanogo, bit tired, waiting for that one to come to him. Huddlestone's ball back to El Mohammadi. Haven't seen many rampaging runs from him in this game. His job has been effectively to help out the defenders. And now Huddlestone's ball down the centre. Aluko will give chase against Sagna. Sagna is the favourite. Aluko puts pressure on him by the corner flag, and Sagna does just enough there, and it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Into the last 10 minutes, Chris.
Yeah, I think Arsenal look more likely. They're carrying a slight threat with Aluko coming on Hull, but they just seem kind of get at the park, the midfield and the back. They've put a massive shift in Hull, and they look very, very tired. And Arsenal at times have been in great areas and wasted the opportunities.
Stakes, of course, so high for Arsenal, 9 years. For Hull, this has never happened. They've never won the FA Cup. And what a season they've had in this competition. But at the moment, just the way the play is going, you would just sense that Arsenal, perhaps if they can move up a gear or so, can take and stretch this Hull defence. Ozil's ball now onto Sonogo, chested off from him, good clearance by Davis, shot driven in from Giroud, turned away by the goalkeeper, and McGregor decided to get two hands and palm that away for a corner.
Well, he hasn't had the best games today, Giroud, hasn't he? He's not really contributed a lot, but this is a good effort, good technique, volley into the ground. McGregor alive, pushes it well away for another corner.
The two Arsenal goals have been set pieces. And with 9 minutes to go in the cup final, they have a corner kick down this near side. They have some big hitters here from corners going forward. And here comes the corner kick aimed towards Koscielny, cleared by Hull only as far as Aaron Ramsey. Chance for Ozil to swing this ball back in again. Instead he leaves it now to Ramsey. So many red shirts in the area waiting, and it goes, diving header out by Davis. Hull need to come out quickly now. And Arsenal are back on them once more. Gibbs has just missed that great opportunity, and his ball forward was smothered by Aluko, and so Gibbs will have to give the ball all the way back once more to Fabianski. Just one careless moment like that, you know.
Well, anything can happen, that's it. There's a ball in the box, but it's Arsenal who's dominating the game and putting the ball in the box more.
Another clearance by Fabianski. McShane getting up well ahead of Giroud. Arsenal now with Mesut Ozil over on the left. 2-2 in the cup final. Ozil now playing the ball into Ramsey. Ozil's gone for the return. Out comes goalkeeper McGregor. Easy there. Wasn't particularly well delivered back to Mesut Ozil. Another opportunity wasted by Arsenal. And we have 8 minutes to go. We have extra time looming here. And if you've not been with us all the way here, Hull went into a shot 2-0 lead here against Arsenal. Arsenal coming back with one from Cazorla. That was the half-time score, 2-1. And in the second half, with Hull just labouring a little bit after all their effort before the break, Arsenal coming on once more to them. Sonogo their only change though, and he's lost that ball. And Davis to Myler. Myler on the halfway line. Myler's ball towards Friat, and now Rossignol down the left-hand side. Arsene Wenger's pointing. Hull just for the moment have the ball inside the Arsenal territory. Aluko's won it back well. He's made a difference, Aluko, already. He's given them some impetus since he came on. He's lost that one though. Arsenal take a throw-in, and Mertesacker now to Koscielny, and the Arsenal fans away to our right predominantly, urging their team forward. Steve Bruce clenches his fist down there and demands that his team hang in here over some awkward moments. 2-2 in the cup final. Mertesacker's ball in to the feet of Ozil. Ozil now faced by Huddleston, who's on a yellow card in the game. Cazorla, again it's a little slow from Arsenal. The ball into Giroud was an obvious one, and it was intercepted by Davis, and there's a lovely change of pace now from Aluko once more, and then Aluko just got a bit carried away as he tried to find Rossignol, and the whistle's gone for a foul by Giroud on Aluko. It's a yellow card for the Frenchman and a free kick to Hull short of the halfway line.
Well, they're not in a rush to take this. I'm sure they'll be hitting a diagonal ball. Al-Mohammadi. And Aluko just got caught late by Giroud, and it was a yellow card. But I wonder if Steve Bruce is thinking, does he keep Matty Fried on? Is he a penalty taker? Is that what he's starting to look at?
Well, that's a long way away still, of course, and we'll have another word from Malky Mackay in a moment. But first of all, Hull City taking their time over this free kick. Huddleston standing over the ball. Curtis Davis, the captain, has made his way forward. In goes the kick towards McShane over on the far side. Arsenal managed to defend it. No, they don't. Ball is played in again towards Davis, and Davis has headed that one over the bar. And a goal kick for Arsenal. So, Malky, 5 minutes to go. What do you think?
Yeah, I think at the moment Hull just need to hang on there for extra time. They need to be solid. They're breaking slightly, and I think Aluko always looks a little bit of a danger, but at the moment, every time Arsenal come forward, they look as though if they get into that final third, they're going to have a chance here at the moment. I think Hull just need to hang on there for extra time.
Thank you. Just under 90,000 here, and looks like they could have another 30 minutes as Giroud now tries to spin away from Davis, who's brought him down from behind. Tire challenge that from Davis, and that's a yellow card from referee Lee Probert. And well, he had no alternative really. And can Arsenal now, as a result of that tire challenge from Curtis Davis, make this free kick count? They've certainly got the aerial threat, and Mertesacker's there with Koscielny, and also the substitute Sonogo. So it's 2-2 at Wembley. Ozil takes the free kick towards Koscielny, who doesn't manage to control it. It's disappointing in the end. It's a goal kick.
Well, it's wasted, isn't it? You've just got to try and put it onto that between the penalty spot and the 6-yard line and let them go and attack it. He's overhit it. Just getting a rerun of the goal. It's the slightest of touches.
I'm interested in why you think Wilshere hasn't come on.
Is he fit? Is he carrying some type of injury? Is he worried about putting him on? Will he save him for extra time? I thought he would have been on by now, to be honest. If you were going to put him on.
Well, a fully fit Wilshere was exactly what Arsenal were missing before the break. And they didn't seem to have any legs, any pace, any imagination. It's 2-2. The Arsenal fans now having to watch over on the far side. It's Hull City supporters with their scarves and their flags, because they have a throw halfway inside the Arsenal half. And the ball is in midfield with Livermore, clipped down the right-hand side, and even El Mohammadi won't get that. He's got most things down the right-hand side. And with 3 minutes to go, I just wonder now whether these two are settling for an extra 30. When Arsenal won the Cup in 2005 in Cardiff, the last trophy, that was extra time and penalties against Manchester United. And now Ozil. Not too many moments left in the 90 minutes. Ramsey, again very slow from Arsenal, and Ramsey's forced back to the halfway line, and he has to give it back 10 yards to Koscielny. Still Steve Bruce conducts from the sidelines as Ozil tries to get away from Huddlestone. Ozil needs a bit of support. He's got Sagna available on the right hand side. Back in again to Ozil, running out of time now at the end of the 90 minutes. Just 2 minutes of normal time to go. It's 2-2 between Arsenal and Hull. Koscielny again, very pedestrian, the build-up. Mertesacker. All of the Hull players are back, of course, behind the ball. They're getting ready in anticipation of a presentation here in a few moments, putting the ropes down, but that might well not happen. They have to do this, of course, with 2 or 3 minutes to go. That's the normal format here, with the security people down here just putting a rope down in anticipation of the teams coming up to collect the cup and the medals. But we're a long, long way from that at the moment. We have a minute and a half of normal time to go. Goal now from either of these two will surely win the cup. Ramsey onto Sanogo. Giroud in the penalty area. Ball into Giroud, couldn't control it, and Myler clears. Only Matty Fry it downfield. Koscielny reaches for it and then sends the back pass once more to Fabianski. Fabianski's good touch there, the goalkeeper, sending the ball to Mertesacker. And now they build from Arteta on the halfway line. Arteta to Cazorla. Cazorla pressurised by Rossini, manages to find Ozil. Giroud's pointing. Ball goes into the Frenchman. Tries to set it up for Sanogo's effort. Oh, just wide. No deflection either. Goal kick.
Well, it's no goal for me. He didn't strike it as clean as he wanted to, but you've seen him go in. Good move by Ozil. A little bit quicker. Nice little layoff by Giroud, and he doesn't strike it really. Scuffs it, and it's just half a yard wide. Would it have beat McGregor if it was in the bottom corner? No, I don't think it would have.
Chance to be a hero forever there. Sanogo, not to be. And we play on, and we have 30 seconds of normal time to go. We're heading for another 30 here at Wembley. Hull 2, Arsenal 2. The ball cleared by Hull City, but given straight back again to Arsenal. Sanogo wins the free kick. No, he doesn't inside the centre circle. The referee was happy with Davis's challenge. And what's happening? No. The game has...
How long?
Well, it's going to be a free kick to Hull City. Was there an offside there? I don't know.
That was a free kick he gave
given against one.
They played the rolling ball, and the ball wasn't stationary.
Well, maybe Wilshere will come on now for the extra 30 minutes. We're going to have an extra 5 minutes of added time. That's a surprise. And that, presumably, there has been some time wasting earlier on in this second half from Hull City when they were leading 2-1. So 5 minutes of added time. Free kick to Hull City. And flicked on by Aluko, headed up in the air not very well by Bakary Sagna. Now it's out of the penalty area. Suddenly Hull threatened down the left-hand side, but Nyla won't keep that in, and it's going to be Arsenal's ball. So very often in these games, when we come so close to the end, both of the sides' instinct seem to be to just now hold what we have, not to take any risks, see it through to an extra 30 minutes. Throw in to Arsenal, 2-2 in the cup final. Giroud's back in his own half, and now Arteta. Arteta's good ball onto Ramsey. Ramsey has to hustle and then he gives it away. Hull City doing well again in that middle area to deny Arsenal. McShane into Livermore. This is better from Hull suddenly. Huddleston scooped ball forward. fright going forward, but Mertesacker's there and just intercepts in the nick of time. But Hull have a throw-in over on the far side. Now if they can get players forward here, this is a chance, maybe. Davis is staying back at the moment, who's so good from these restarts very often, but he's not taking any chances. Hull City's throw-in towards Aluko, disappointing in the end. And maybe that was just a sign that I'm sure had there been longer to go in the game, Davis might have gone forward, but he's staying back to look after Olivier Giroud. Not a great clearance by Arsenal out of defence. And now Arteta's ball down to Ramsey. We're playing added time at Wembley. Good ball down the Arsenal left now for Mesut Ozil. Sonogo and Giroud are available. Ball into Giroud. Great defending from Davis initially. Giroud gets the shot in. It's an easy save.
He just couldn't get the ball under control. Quick attack by Ozil. Ozil feeds it into Giroud just inside the box, twisting, turning. Eventually swivels on it. McGregor's good position. Tries to beat him at the near post. McGregor gets down there, comfortable save.
Hull 2 up in the first 8 minutes. Chester and Davis, the two centre-backs. Cazorla a free kick for Arsenal, 2-1 at half-time, and then Koscielny scrambled one in to make it 2-2. We're playing added time here at the end of the 90 minutes, 5 minutes of it, and we played about 2.5 of that already, and Arteta's given away a free kick. Arsene Wenger furious with him and also with the decision, I would imagine, because it gives Hull now a big chance to swing the ball forward. And this time Davis is going to try and get on the end of it. And McShane's down there as well. Could this be the most dramatic moment of Hull City's history? Just 2 minutes of added time to go in the cup final. And 2-2 is the scoreline against Arsenal. The overwhelming favourites in this game, but it hasn't gone like that. Hull fans sing away to our left. Free kick is delivered high by Huddleston, looking for a knockdown from Davis. Doesn't come though, and Arteta plays the ball out of defence. Ozil's now operating on the left wing in the absence of Podolski. Ozil cuts in field and feeds Ramsey, and this could be a chance if the pass is right from Ramsey. Cazorla reaches for it, doesn't control it, and manages just to keep the ball in by the corner flag near side. Hits the ball back to Sanya, still a chance for Arsenal, and it goes, but Sonogo couldn't get off the ground. And opportunity wasted by Arsenal.
Yeah, quick attack. Ozil trying to find Cazorla, and he just couldn't get a control of it. And ball goes in the box, easy to deal with for Hull, but it looks like extra time.
Still have 1.5 minutes to go of the added 5. Hull 2, Arsenal 2 in the cup final. Arsenal nowhere near anything like at their best in the game. Coming back through 2 set pieces. And now McGregor again takes his time in that Hull goal. Clears towards the Hull fans away to our left. Mertesacker's in the way with a header. Myler's ball, and then skied forward by Huddleston. Straight back again to the Arsenal defender Koscielny. The man whose goal looks like it's going to force extra time here. Koscielny down the centre. Giroud backing into the defender. Chester. Ball play to Ozil. One last chance for Arsenal. Poorly delivered though by Giroud. Turned away as soon as he executed that pass. Hull City have the ball, and we have 40 seconds to go. McGregor preparing to clear. Fabianski's seen very, very little of the activity in the second half. Koscielny on the edge of the Arsenal area. 30 seconds of added time to go. Gibbs over on the left-hand side. Again, the initial movement is slow though from Arsenal. Arteta under pressure from Aluko. Arteta still under more pressure from Aluko. In the end, he chips the pass down the right-hand side for Sanya. Sanya now, infield to Ramsey. Ramsey's ball, Giroud tries to scuffle it forward. Hull need to get a boot on the end of this. Giroud's gone down following that challenge, and the whistle's gone. It's very scrappy end to the 95 here. Referee Lee Probert will blow out any second now to signal there'll be an extra 30 minutes at Wembley, and players dropping like flies at the moment all over the field. Giroud went down, and so too did Myler, and when this ball is now delivered by Alan McGregor, I'm sure we'll hear the referee's whistle. Well, Arsenal so far have managed to avert disaster here. Trailing 2-0 after 8 minutes, they have forced an extra 30 here. The final score after the 90 minutes here at Wembley, Arsenal 2, Hull 2.
Malky Mackay, best cup final probably since that Steven Gerrard game in 2006. What a game, you cannot take your eyes off it.
It's been terrific, it really has, and you know, you have to look at the courage of the Hull players. Absolutely fantastic. This is well deserved, by the way, this from Hull. This is there's no luck involved here. And you have to say to Arsenal, they got themselves back into the game. It was 2 set pieces, and they've pushed strongly in the last 15-20 minutes, but it's all to play for now.
Atletico Madrid have won La Liga for the first time in 18 years. They've drawn 1-1 away to Barcelona in the Nou Camp. Alexis Sanchez scored a brilliant goal to put Barca in front. At that stage, Barca were going to win the league. But well done to Atletico Madrid. He'll go for the double now against Real Madrid this time next week in the Champions League final. Astonishing story. Congratulations to them to break the duopoly in Spain there. Wow.
Absolutely, especially after Diego Costa gone off after 15 minutes. I think Simeone has to be given an immense amount of credit, and those 450 fans that are in that stadium at the moment might not go home tonight.
I hope they can see they're so high up there, the Nou Camp. Well done, Atletico. More to come. Extra time here, 2-2 after 90 minutes. Dave Woods, what about Hull and Hull KR at the Etihad?
Hull Kingston Rovers are going to get the bragging rights here. Utterly absorbing game. 36 points to 24 they lead with a kick to come. Travis Burns having just scored a try for Hull Kingston Rovers. Hull have had a man sent off, Jason Crooks, in the second half. 9 minutes into the second half. That badly affected them, but they've always been chasing the game anyway, to be fair. It's Hull Kingston Rovers' day. The kick has been added. It's Hull Kingston Rovers 38, Hull FC 24 into the final 10 seconds.
And to Lords and Steve May.
Yes, well, nail-biting moments for the Sussex coach and Hull City fan Mark Robinson, who's at Wembley this afternoon, but I can actually tell him that his Sussex cricket team have just recorded their second win in 2 days. They beat Middlesex by 13 runs after setting them just 129 to win. That made it 2 defeats in an afternoon for Middlesex, who lost the earlier game to Essex by 8 wickets.
6:06, a little delayed, clearly because of extra time. Let's speak to Kevin Kilban, who, of course, played for Hull amongst others during his career. Kevin, as I said to you at half-time, still too tight to call this one.
No, it is. I think Hull have been defending really well towards the end of the game. They've been pinned back for long periods through that second half. But, you know, full credit to them as well. They've hung on in there. I think that the goal they conceded was a very poor goal because how Steve Bruce sets his side up defensively, well organised, that'll disappoint him. But overall, it's still all to play for, yeah.
What a miss, though, by Kieran Gibbs.
Yeah, huge
Kevin,
miss.
What a miss.
I mean, he had to go high as well. You've seen what he was trying to do because the angles were all closed down to him. He tried to go high, but just went back too much and put it over the top.
Jack Wilshere for you, Kevin. Surely must come on. Malky and I have been talking about it for Ozil.
Yeah.
It was pretty anonymous.
Yeah, he has been. I think he struggled, Ozil, throughout, and you would imagine that that's the natural replacement for him. Come on to try and change the game a little bit. He's, we know he's a talent. I'm surprised he's not brought him on before now. Brought Sonogo on, who, again, he had that half chance himself, but fluffed that one. I mean, remember at the semis there, Mark, as well, when he brought Podolski off, and everyone was expecting Sonogo to go off in that semi-final as well, but it was an interesting one why he's brought Sonogo on for Podolski.
Arsene Wenger is going around all of his players, giving them the G up. I don't think he's made a change yet, actually, has he, Malky? No, I can see Jack Wilshere there still swinging on a bottle with his top on.
No, that's correct, and Ozil's still on the pitch. We're both sitting here saying that he's not really been much of an effect today, and it's a strange one at the moment. You would think, unless Jack Wilshere doesn't have the correct amount of fitness in him to actually play extra time, but you would think there would be another one change ready.
Serious team talks from Arsene Wenger and from Steve Bruce as well. They've contributed their teams to a fabulous FA Cup final. Are we going to go to penalties? Arsenal won their last trophy on penalties 9 years ago. Hull City's first ever FA Cup final, 2 up after 8 minutes. John Hartson's going to be along with Kevin Kilban on 6:06, former Arsenal player. John, your old team had to dig themselves out of the biggest hole.
Yes, they did. You know, they give themselves an absolute mountain to climb, but credit to Arsenal. You know, they pressed and they kept going in the second half. You know, they've seemed to have stepped up a couple of gears, and a little bit unfortunate as well. 1 or 2 maybe penalty shouts to Livermore handball on 63 minutes could have gone Arsenal's way, but they've kept going, and they've got that vital equaliser. And in the second half, as I said, you know, they stepped up a couple of gears, and you know, obviously they go into the extra time now for me in the ascendancy, having come from 2 goals down.
Funny John says that. Arsene Wenger's moaning to the linesman already, and the 4th official. Alan Green is standing by. Here we go, 2-2.
Well, I just wonder if it had been 2-0 to Arsenal after 8 minutes, whether we would have needed extra time. I mean, it's a fantastic advantage that Hull had, but perhaps it all came too early for them. What Wenger is moaning about, heaven only knows. Right, referee, 30 more minutes of actual playing time, and then if we need them, penalty kicks, as we needed them for Arsenal's semi-final win against Wigan. Arsenal will be attacking the end to our left in the first 15 minutes of extra time as we get underway. I think Aluko's looked quite good since he's come on. Certainly, quote, fresh legs and quick and a pest. So he will help fry it. but Hull have been on the back foot, and they're on the back foot at the moment as the ball is played forward down the Arsenal right side forward towards Sanogo. It's head out of play by Curtis Davis, the Hull captain, and it will be a throw-in to Arsenal deep inside the Hull half. Sanya is going to take it level with the edge of the Hull City penalty area. No great movement towards him, so he has to throw it backwards towards Mertesacker. And now Koscielny to Ramsey. Rather mystified that Wiltshire hasn't come on, but he is on the touchline at the moment with Rosicki. Maybe he will come on. Mertesacker for Arsenal. Score of the equaliser, by the way, against Wigan in the semi-final. Plays it towards Giroud. Giroud is tackled, and it's out of Davis for another throw into Arsenal. But they look leggy as well, don't they, Chris?
They do. Both teams. I think Arsenal, if any team, what I've saw the last probably 20 minutes normal time, it could beat anybody. Look, Arsenal look the team more likely to score for me.
Ramsey to Gibbs. Gibbs swings the cross in. Here's an opportunity. No, it's headed away well by Davis, who actually hurt himself in making that header, and now it's finally cleared by Huddleston out of play on the near side for a throw in to Arsenal, which Gibbs takes. The action is deep inside the Hull half to Ramsey. Back from Ozil to Ramsey, and from Gibbs to Ramsey. Ozil takes it up again. Overall, he's been a disappointment. Ramsey once more. The pass was ahead of the German, and it's cleared out for another throw-in to Arsenal. Obviously, they're going to have a lot of the possession here in extra time.
They're going to dominate this game. You can see what's going to happen. The only way they're going to break away, Hull is get a set piece or a mistake, but they're digging in. They've been, you can't fault Hull. The effort they've put in has been first class, and to go 2-0 up was a great start for them, but it's just Arsenal's going to dominate the rest of the game now.
Hull have the ball on the far side of the field with Rosigne, and he's won a throw-in, heading the ball against Mertesacker. It's 15 yards over the halfway line. It's a tepid start to the first period of extra time. Extra time usually is, certainly in the first period. Nobody wants to make a mistake. 2-2 here between Arsenal and Hull in the 2014 FA Cup final. You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Arsenal clear the ball, and Ramsey drives it towards Sanogo. Sanogo's on his own. Defenders getting across. Sanogo's inside of one, and then two gets back to Giroud. Giroud tries to shoot goalwards, missed kicks, and it's cleared by Hull City. That typifies Giroud's contribution.
Well, somebody's went down with that block, was it? Vamo got back. He's had a tremendous game as well. It's great energy levels he's put in today. Terrific block from Giroud there.
Aluko back to El Mohammadi. And infield, goodness, that's putting a defender under pressure. Defender might lose the ball. No, he just does enough. Chester to feed it back to goalkeeper McGregor. Out it goes to the far side of the field. Rosigne. Oh, goodness gracious, mistake made by Hull City, and the cross into the penalty. Giroud's there, Giroud, header against the crossbar, and away to safety.
Oh, he should score. What a great... Hull are absolutely flat on the feet. They just got nothing. The back three can't get up the field. Look, they're just walking up the 18-yard box. It's just Arsenal's. It's for Arsenal if they want to have a little bit of quality. That was quality. Giroud heads it down. It's game over for me.
4 minutes gone in the first period of extra time here at Wembley. Arteta sweeps it to the far side to Sanya. Back to Mertesacker. Hull appear to be playing for penalty kicks now. That's all their bodies can do. They're so exhausted. Koscielny to the near side, and Ozil. Ozil looked fantastic when he arrived at the Emirates, but goodness, he's had some bad patches throughout the season, not least because of injury, of course, to be fair to him. Today he's disappointed. Arteta for Arsenal, flicked on by Ramsey to Cazorla. He scored with the free kick that brought Arsenal back into the game after Hull had gone into a 2-0 lead. Now Ozil takes it up. Ozil plays a 1-2, edge of the penalty. It's still going. Shot by Ramsey. He was leaning back, and he hits it high over the crossbar as a result.
Well, it's just Steve Bruce has just probably said in that team talk before we went back out, look, otherwise you've got to dig in, you've got to concentrate, you've just got to basically do your jobs. And yes, they are definitely playing for penalty kicks, there's no doubt about that. They just haven't got the legs or the energy to get up the field.
I'm not. It's not a criticism. It's just reality. So McGregor slowly to take this goal kick for Hull City. McGregor was stranded when Giroud's header flew past him and ricocheted off the crossbar. McGregor smacks the Goal kick, right-footed, driven towards El Mohammadi, who jumps well, heads it on, but is cleared by Koscielny. Huddleston heads it toward the right side, but that's intercepted by Arteta. Arteta tackled for the second time. The ball breaks out of play off him, and it's going to be a throw-in to Hull City.
Which there'll be no rush to take.
Not blaming them. El Mohammadi to take the throw-in from right in front of Steve Bruce, his manager. He finds Aluko with a throw-in. Back to El Mohammadi, and he sweeps it towards McGregor. McGregor doesn't wait for the ball to slow down. He hits it half-volleyed, upfield, and now headed down by Mertesacker into the centre circle. Cazorla found Ramsey. Ramsey didn't control it, and Hull have the ball. Aluko, 6 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. And now to the right side. El Mohammadi plays the ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's well gathered by
That wasn't a bad ball. Fry just drifting to the far post. If he gambles near post, little touch, it's a simple touch, a little simple goal that would have been.
From Fabianski's throw out, Arteta to Gibbs, back to Arteta, and on to Cazorla. For me, he's been Arsenal's best player, Cazorla, which is not saying a great deal. They've been disappointing generally. Gibbs on the halfway line. I say disappointing, but they have pulled back from 2-0 down to be 2-2. Now Cazorla, wasteful with a pass, intercepted by Huddleston. And then it's given away by Hull. Sanya to Ramsey. Ramsey, middle of the Hull half, shoots long range, and McGregor initially spilt it, but then pounced on the ball at the second attempt.
He did well. It was a good strike by Ramsey, and McGregor gets his body behind it. Yes, he does spill it slightly. It's a lot of pace. It skids off the surface. He picks it up on the second attempt.
And now he clears McGregor towards the Hull right flank, but there's no Hull player there really. Arteta heads it infield, only into Hull's possession. Aluko in the centre circle, almost lost it, but he gets the pass back to Huddleston, and now it's on from Mailer to the far side, and Rosignol back to Mailer, and Mailer in now to Livermore. Livermore with a little bit of room, but now he's perhaps too tired to run forward, so passes somebody to the right side, and El Mohammadi down this near side of the field. El Mohammadi takes on Gibbs, and who did that come off? It's a goal kick. El Mohammadi thinks the assistant should have awarded a corner there.
Well, we've seen the benefit of a replay. No,
it's not.
Goal kick,
which Fabianski takes quickly to Mertesacker, and the giant German plays it towards Cazorla. Cazorla still inside his own half, being forced to retreat a little bit. Plays it from right to left towards this near side. Gibbs into Cazorla again. 8 minutes gone in the first period of extra time on 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC, and we've just had the Giroud header off the crossbar in terms of serious goalmouth action. Now Ramsey spins away from Huddleston, and then he finds Ozil. Ozil slides the pass to Cazorla. Back to Arteta. Arteta steps away from Aluko onto Cazorla, promising from Arsenal. Back now to Ozil, about 25 yards from goal. The pass on to the edge of the penalty to Ramsey. 1-2 play with Giroud. Ramsey shoots into the side netting.
Well, that was a lot better by Ozil. Moved the ball very, very quickly. Good little give and goes. Ramsey's still on the floor. Is he getting up? Somebody's got cramp in a Hull shirt.
Yep.
Ramsey shoots into the side net, and that was a lot better by Ozil. Quicker tempo, a lot of give and goes, a lot of movement. Ramsey's effort always going wide.
The cramp was Rosignol's, but he's not making a lot of it. He's back on his feet now before McGregor takes the goal kick. And then McGregor is on a go slow. I do exactly the same thing if I was in his position. My side are out on their feet. You know, it's 2-2 at an FA Cup final at Wembley. Please bring on penalties, he's thinking. 6 minutes before half time in extra time. The clearance upfield, hooked back by Gibbs towards Sanogo. Sanogo jumps, doesn't bring the ball under control, and it's now with Chester to Huddleston. Huddleston shoots it to the far side, and Rosignol. Rosignol has Mailer in support, finds Mailer, back to Rosignol, still short of the halfway line, the ball for Hull. Now Huddleston, and the pass rather slowly played back to McGregor. He won't mind that.
No, he's going to bring George Boyd on as well, Steve Bruce, who's got good engine. He's offside.
El Mohammadi heads the ball on, but Aluko was in an offside position, so made no attempt to play the ball, and it's through to Fabianski. Well, it may as well not have happened these first 10 minutes in extra time, apart from that Giroud header.
We forget Hull are very, very tired. You can see that, but you've got to think Arsenal
having had to chase it.
Yeah, they are.
Yep. They're equally out their feet. Koscielny though, to Arteta, the captain. Inside the centre circle, on to Cazorla. Sanya makes the run down the right. Cazorla turns and plays it left side towards Ramsey. Intercepted by McShane for Hull. And El Mohammadi runs down the right side. Forward to Oluku. Oluku turns, but he's got a couple of defenders with him, and inevitably he loses the ball. Koscielny to Cazorla. And Cazorla still 10 yards short of the halfway line. Back to Koscielny. And now Mertesacker and to the goalkeeper Fabianski. You know, they have it at Wembley in particular, and also at the Emirates, you know, to go and have a drink or some food. They could do that and come back for the penalty kicks, couldn't they?
Yep.
Here's Ozil over the halfway line, near side of the field, Arsenal left, and he lays a simple pass forward to Giroud. Giroud's pass was awful, and he's lucky to be given the ball back by McShane. Ramsey to Ozil. May think twice about giving it to Giroud this time. Plays it to Ramsey. Ramsey shoots wildly high, and it's behind for a goal kick. The Hull City.
Well, it was a tired effort by Aaron Ramsey. Both teams are, you know, it is a warm day, it's a humid day. He has a substitution. George Boyd is coming on,
and it's Rosignol who comes off.
Yeah, he's the one who went down with cramp. So George Boyd could easily play that role.
He can.
He's fit up and down.
And that's the last substitution to be made by Steve Bruce. All three of them have been made, and they're taking the time anyway about making the change. But finally, is he ready to come off? Steve Bruce talking to his players, taking the interruption, playing to full advantage. Finally, Rosignol recognises that he's the player being substituted. He's off, shakes the hand of his coach, Steve Bruce, and Boyd is on and immediately goes down that far left side. How many minutes left in the first period of extra time? 3 minutes of torture to go, and that's not just for the bodies of the two teams out there who are very tired. It's not the most fruitful commentary that we've been able to bring you in extra time so far. Sanogo on the far side of the field wins the ball, takes it on past a second player, flicks it. Goodness, no need to hurry that. And it came back off the defender, back to his goalkeeper McGregor.
Well, he's got pace and a bit of strength. He should have took the ball on there for me. He's crossed it. He's got a little bit of injury out of the challenge he got, but he played the ball far too early. But he's young. He's still learning.
Long clearance upfield by McGregor. Fryer does well, wins the ball, gets it back off Oluku, and then he loses it to Arteta. 2 minutes of the first period of extra time remain here at Wembley Stadium. The scoreline hasn't changed since the 90 minutes. It's Arsenal 2, Hull City 2. Gibbs for Arsenal. Gibbs at walking pace, and Vermaelen. No, he's not coming on. I'm not sure he's coming on. He's warming up, but he's not coming on. Here's Ozil sprinting forward. Plays the pass to Sanogo. Edge of the D into Ozil, but it hits the defender Huddleston, who's running back, and that ran kindly from McGregor, who clears it upfield, and it bounces harmlessly through to Fabianski.
That was the first time we saw Ozil have a change of pace and start running at the back four, and give Huddleston credit there. He tracked him very well.
Cazorla from Ramsey's pass. On to Gibbs, racing down the left. Gibbs crosses low in towards the near post. Definitely a nudge by Sanogo there, not spotted by the referee. Hull of the ball anyway, and it's cleared to Livermore. Livermore then gives the ball away to Ramsey. Just over a minute of the first period of extra time remaining as Cazorla sweeps the ball with the inside of his right foot, sweeps it too high this time, unlike a free kick, and it's behind for a goal.
Well, he's got the ability, hasn't he? He's had a good game, Cazorla, for me, and he's trying to just bend that round McGregor and clip it. Puts too much on it, high and wide.
Yeah, chance. It was an easier chance than he had from the free kick. McGregor checks his boots. No, there's no mud on it, son. This surface is glorious. McGregor finally places the ball. We've got 40 seconds of time remaining in the first period of extra time. Finally, the Scot hits it, right-footed, straight onto the head of Arteta. That was a push by Ozil. And Ozil then reacted to Livermore. Don't know quite what happened there, but it's a free kick anyway to Hull City. And it's played to Oluku. Oluku's got room down the near side. The Hull City right. Swings the ball in. Easy clearance on the half volley by Koscielny. And now Gibbs just clips the ball up towards the halfway line. Met by the long-haired Boyd. Boyd heads it on. Fryatt heads it down, but only to a red shirt. Sanya passes back to Koscielny. and it's swept up to Sanogo again on the far side of the field. Sanogo running at Chester. Chester beats him, and then Chester plays the ball safely back to his goalkeeper McGregor. Oh goodness, he almost gives it away to Sanogo, but Sanogo didn't control it. That's behind for a goal kick, and that's sure. Why do they insist some officials?
It is.
He's waiting for the goal kick. He has blown his whistle.
That would be enough 5 minutes before the goal kick.
Malky, are they both settling for penalties? Is Malky Mackay there? No, he's not for the moment.
Aye, they are.
Can you do Scots?
I was going to do Scottish, yeah.
I thought that was a terrible impression, Marky. What do you think?
Certainly, that was a Dublin-based Scot that you're obviously talking to there at that point. No, I think in the final third, Arsenal need to have certainly a bit better quality in their decision-making, but they're not settling for a draw. Hull, I think, at this point, would certainly settle for penalties.
Have Hull gone completely, Marky? Do you think they've got anything left in the tank for going forward?
Well, I think Aluko is the one that just could give them that little bit of spark, but they certainly need to get further up the pitch. It might be a set piece. It might be one set piece. The last minute of the game in normal time, Steve was brave and sent his centre backs up, and they pumped it up into the box. So that might be the chance they've got in the last 15 minutes.
So Hull 2-0 up after just 8 minutes, and Arsenal managed to pull 2 goals back. That's why we're into extra time. We're into the second period of extra time very shortly, and to describe it, here's Mike Ingham.
Well, they may have tigers in their tank. Let's see. Hull City, we're going to have changes, Chris, I can see. Wilshire's coming on.
Yep.
Rosicki's coming on. And let's see who's coming on.
Cazorla's come off.
You know, that is a little of a surprise, because Cazorla would be one of the penalty takers. There's no question about that, and that has to occupy a manager's thoughts as well, but he won't take a penalty now, so he's off. And Wilshire's coming on, and Rosicki's coming on as well. Haven't seen yet who is also making way. But Cazorla's run himself into the ground, so it'll be and Ozil's coming off as well, so he wouldn't take a penalty either. Mike, remember he missed one against Bayern Munich. So Rosicki is on. Ozil and Cazorla have been withdrawn. Rosicki coming on with Jack Wilshere, and we have 15 minutes to go here. There has never been a penalty shootout to decide an FA Cup final at Wembley. We thought we were going to have one when Chris was playing in '93. Sheffield Wednesday against Arsenal. We got it so close to it until Linnigan headed in that corner. We've had penalty shootouts, of course, in Cardiff. So the FA Cup has been won before on penalties. Arsenal in 2005 and Liverpool in 2006, but there's never been one here. They've decided playoff finals, they've decided League Cup finals, semi-finals. Anyway, we may not get that far. So Arsenal in this final period of extra time at 2-2 are playing towards their fans away to our right. And Hull City, will they have anything left here in this game? Mertesacker, just in that first period of extra time, the only real excitement, the header from Giroud, which hit the bar. It's Thomas Rosicki now. Rosicki taking the ball into the Hull half, looking to play the ball into Sanogo. Sanogo taps it back once more to Ramsey. Fascinating to see Wilshere with this little cameo, with the World Cup particularly in mind, of course, playing on this right-hand side at the moment. But clearly not fit enough to play a major contribution in this final. Coming on for these last 15 minutes. Arsenal, tired ball out of defence. Davis now into Aluko. And the ball is with Myler. Hull can make another change, can't they? One more change that they could make as Boyd goes in to try and deny Sagna, who's tumbled over. Referee says play on. Sagna gets back on his feet slowly. And Rosicki, as the sunshine breaks through and filters through here, Wilshere has the ball and Rosicki collects it well. Boyd backs off, back again to Wilshere, back again to Rosicki. Sanogo's poised in the area, goes into Jack Wilshere in the area. A 1-2 which almost works for Sanogo. Hull fail to clear, and then Ramsey wellies it over the bar.
I've got to say, they have made the 3 substitutions, Hull. Yes, they have made 3, but saying that, Jack Wilshere there, a little give and go for me, should have shot. He's tried that extra 1-2, which he didn't need. He had a little bit of space on that left foot. Have an effort.
So a clearance to be made by Alan McGregor. Luko certainly lively when he came on for Hull. Boyd is just playing in at left back really for Rossini. They're not occupying him on the left hand side. And the clearance downfield. The one change of course they made early on they didn't particularly want to make when McShane came on for the injured Bruce. Now, the ball dabbed down the right by Ramsey. And Sanya's there, sprinting well. Myler, with his energy, also coming back. Sanya's early ball clipped in. Chester has to be careful. Not a great clearance. Ramsey, though, can't collect it. And Livermore now to play the ball out of defence. Lovely change of feet and pace there from Friat, who's led the line really intelligently today. Placed the ball down the right-hand side, and El Mohammadi. We're playing added time, final period of extra time. The ball flicked over the top, looking for the running from Aluko. Koscielny's there, gives it back to Fabianski, and even Aluko's too tired, even though he's not played the whole game, to make a challenge there on Fabianski. Players getting off the ground over on the far side. Ball goes out of play. Lee Probert looks to the linesman and gives Arsenal the decision down the left-hand side. Thrown down to Rosicky. Rosicky coming on for this final period with Wilshere. Rosicky now to Ramsey. Ramsey's ball in to Wilshere. Wilshere's looking for a free kick, went down rather easily, not given. Hull City now look to Myler again to glide their way out of defence. He's lost it, and he's out of position, and Ramsey's got it. Sonogo's trying to stay on side. Ramsey can't get it in first time, plays it instead now to Arteta. Arsenal just over-elaborating at times. Sonogo clicks in the air, it might break to Giroud. Giroud steps over the ball, Ramsey! And Ramsey scores for Arsenal in added time here at Wembley. And could that be the moment that will clinch the first trophy for 9 years for Arsene Wenger? Arsenal 2-0 down in 8 minutes, now leading extra time 3-2 against Hull City.
Well, it had to be Aaron Ramsey. He's had a terrific season. Just take the injury out of it, he's been top draw for Arsenal. He's had a quiet game today, but he's always capable of popping up and scoring a goal. He's always willing to get in that box, always looking to score. He's had 2 or 3 efforts today. Just a well-worked move, bit of scramble to finish, but it's a good finish. Giroud backheels it, he hits it nice and early. McGregor can't get set, a lot of bodies in front of him. It just comes to him first time, right foot, just slightly the outside of the right foot, bottom corner past McGregor. And what have Hull got left in the tank?
Well, he was a cup finalist and a cup runner-up with Cardiff City in 2008, Aaron Ramsey, but that could be his moment here in the famous stadium. Arsenal lead 3-2. Malky Mackay, how much of a breakthrough there?
Well, he's not been as influential today as he has been in the past in terms of the whole game, but my goodness, there you go again, Aaron Ramsey, a special player for Arsenal, and at the point they needed a little bit of quality, because first half of extra time there was no quality in the final third. He goes and gives them it, and he just might have won the cup for Arsenal.
Arsenal score from open play, and here's Aluko now for Hull. Can they respond? Boyd's made a great run into the penalty area. He just couldn't take it on with him though, and Mertesacker almost stumbles on the ball, but out comes Fabianski. So Ramsey scores. Arsenal fans, of course, will tell you what a difference he would have made had he been available to them all season. He and Walcott injured and out for such a long period. But now Arsenal, who've come from 2-0 down here, Hull City gave it absolutely everything, especially in that first half. But Arsenal are closing in on the FA Cup, and closing in on what would be a record-equalling FA Cup victory as well here, if they can do it. But still 10 minutes to go. Hull City now have to try and respond. Ramsey's made it 3-2. Hull win the ball. And then there's a foul by Giroud. And Hull have a chance now to get players into the Arsenal half. It's 3-2 to Arsenal on 5 Live and World Service. All the Arsenal songs now, but it's been a nervous day, absolutely tense and gripped. Arsenal by the expectation of winning this trophy. Ball into the area, headed down, and the whistle's gone. And a free kick to Arsenal. Just that little bit of class there from Aaron Ramsey might make all the difference.
Yeah, we're just getting a replay of it here, Mike, and it's a good back heel by Giroud. And he hits it nice and early with the outside, slightly outside of his boot, right boot, and it goes in the bottom corner. McGregor kind of gets set, hits it so early. It's a class finish, I've got to say. At this stage in the game, when everybody's tired, his concentration and his fitness has come through. Ramsey, he's such an important player to the way they play.
Well, once upon a time, of course, this stadium belonged to a gentleman called Ramsey all those years ago. Here we have a Welshman here today, and he's scored what could be a crucial goal for Arsenal. Now Wilshere's battling well. He wins the free kick, and no need to take it quickly now because Arsenal are in the driving seat. And now it's Hull, perhaps, who may get frustrated by Arsenal taking a little bit of extra time. Arsenal 3, Hull City 2. Extra time in the cup final. Once again, those early goals make all the difference in terms of an open, fiercely contested contest, and Arsenal have never really been anything like at their best. That goal from Ramsey just could make all the difference. Hull City, of course, know they're in Europe anyway next season, but then so did Wigan. They knew they were in Europe when they came here. That still didn't stop them beating Manchester City.
Steve Bruce has just put Curtis Davis up front, bring McShane in. Boyd will have to go 3, Huddleston sitting deep, and they could lose more goals here, Hull, but at least they're being positive. They're just going to put everything up to Curtis Davis and see if they can get anything.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Curtis Davis does score goals when he gets the opportunity. Got one, of course, here today when Hull in Dreamland led Arsenal by 2-0. But they've come back with those goals from Koscielny and Ramsey. They lead 3-2, but still some work to do. So we may not get the first ever penalty shootout here in an FA Cup final at Wembley. Rositzky's now won the ball and looks for Wilshere. It's very tight in central midfield, but Rositzky's wriggled out with the ball. Ramsey wants it. The ball instead goes to Sanogo. Wilshere onto Giroud. Giroud plays the ball back, but Hull City got the numbers back, including Livermore, to deal with that. El Mahabani now runs as fast as he can down that right-hand side. But in comes a really good challenge from Jack Wilshere, and Hull find themselves... Oh, back pass is a poor one, and Sanogo's there. Back comes McShane. Sanogo took a while to control it. Now the angle's awkward, and it's gone wide. Well, he just couldn't get the ball down at his feet there, Sanogo. That was a chance to finish the game.
Well, a tired man's there, wasn't it? There's a sloppy back pass there. Al Mohammadi to Sanogo. For me, just bide your time. I'm around his timed his run perfectly well. He just comes into the picture late. If he just squares it across the goal, that would have definitely put the game to bed.
Alan McGregor clears. 3-2 to Arsenal. And we have 6 minutes to go here at Wembley. Dramatic day. Hull going into those 2-0 lead here with those early goals. Arsenal getting a free kick from Cazorla before half-time. The ball is down the Hull City left, and there is an offside. There had to be an offside. Fright was given offside, and Arsenal have the free kick, and nobody is in a rush to take this one. In fact, in the end, Fabianski has to come out of his goal as we move towards the last 5-minute mark here. Arsene Wenger, poised to win the FA Cup for the 5th time. He would equal Sir Alex Ferguson's achievement, the best in the modern era. And he's down there now trying to coax and coach his team over these last 5 minutes. The ball on to Sanogo, headed down to Giroud. Giroud doesn't control it. And another big difference maybe between these two clubs today, the fact that Arsenal are able to bring on players like Jack Wilshere and Thomas Rositzky. Now a stumble by Mertesacker. Fabianski comes out of his goal and he hasn't got it. Aluko wide. Aluko from the angle, right across the face. Wide. It would have been one of the great FA Cup final goals. Fabianski came chasing out. Aluko took it away from him, and the angle was almost impossible for him. And he almost made it. He almost got it into that far post. And Mertesacker speaks to goalkeeper Fabianski. And what a moment we almost had there in the cup final.
He was so unlucky, wasn't he? The great change of pace. Fabianski should never have came. Mertesacker slipped all over, and then nobody could get it to tap it in as it goes across the goal. He meant to score. Gibbs even missed it near the lane. Goes out for a goal kick. What an opportunity.
Well, that would have been absolutely stunning if Shona Aluko had equalised there from the angle. And a real catalogue of errors there between goalkeeper and centre-half. Now McShane is battling here against Sanogo, and he's done too much, has Sanogo. The referee Lee Probert has given the free kick to Hull City. Still time. And there's a wake-up call certainly for Arsenal just a few moments ago. McGregor, remember Davis is now playing centre forward, and he's got his arm raised and he's hoping McGregor can find him. Here comes the kick towards the captain. This time Gibbs gets up well, heads the ball down. El Mohammadi collects over on the far side. Arsenal 3, Hull 2 in the cup final, and 11.5 minutes gone in this final period of extra time. In goes the ball to the area. Fabianski hasn't. Oh, he has got it eventually. In went the challenge from Curtis Davis. Fabianski holds on. In just a few moments, those security people will be reappearing with the ropes down there in anticipation of the presentation. At the moment, the cup is going back to London, back to North London, to Arsenal, who haven't had to leave London, of course, to get into this position, winning all of their rounds at the Emirates before they came here to win the semi-final on penalties against Wigan. They still haven't been at their fluent best, but it looks like they're just going to have enough here, Chris.
Yeah, I think Hull's put a terrific shift in. You can't fault any of their players. They've been absolutely tremendous. Give everything they've got add in the tank, and they've just run out of legs.
Rosicky emerges with the ball down the right-hand side, drags the ball down towards Wiltshire, and Hull City through El Mohammadi, who's had a terrific match, closes them down. But it's a throw into Arsenal deep inside the Hull City half, and we have just 2.5 minutes of this final period of extra time at Wembley. Arsenal 3, Hull City 2. Remember Arsenal winning the Cup 3-2 in 1979 against Manchester United. That was a much more dramatic victory, of course, with Alan Sunderland going in to get that winning goal. And Peter Jones was commentating, and here come Arsenal now with Ramsey. Ramsey onto Giroud, who's onside. Giroud can pull this back for Sonogo, throws himself down, tumbles himself down. Sonogo juggles with the ball, almost squeezes it in. Goalkeeper McGregor gets down to make the save. Now Arsenal have to concentrate as McGregor thumps it downfield towards Curtis Davis, the centre-half playing centre-forward. Davis jumps early. Mertesacker smoothly collects, and with his experience, then Arsenal give it away. That was loose from the back from Gibbs. We have got just a minute and a half or so of added time, extra time to go at Wembley. Here comes Aluko once more. Arteta desperate to try and get the tackle in. He did get the tackle in, but Hull have the ball down the left-hand side with Boyd. Boyd has got Myler in support. Fryatt's waiting. In it goes, headed out by Arsenal, and then thumped clear downfield by Arteta, only as far as Aluko. Aluko from long range, and Fabianski gets down to make the save.
Oh, great ball by Boyd to do it so well, to get that cross in. That's a good effort by Aluko. I don't think we'll see it, Fabianski, very well. It comes through Arteta, and he sees it very late. He just gets stretched and gets a hold of it.
Arsenal were absolutely gripped by the tension early on here, the expectation, and Hull City was superbly organised by Steve Bruce. They came in and they settled down immediately, and really it wasn't much of a surprise that they went quickly into the lead here, as Huddleston now thumps the ball downfield. Awkward. Mertesacker is looking to see where his goalkeeper is. He heads the ball out of the penalty area, and Sagna clears. Just a couple more kicks maybe from Sagna in an Arsenal shirt. He's leaving, we feel. He's gone down on the turf. And then some silliness between Huddleston and Giroud down below us. Wenger picks up Olivier Giroud, and Lee Probert just wants a quiet word with Tom Huddleston, who's on a yellow card here, remember. And will sense the frustration, but equally will want to impose himself on those two players. So nothing for Lee Probert to do here than just really stamp his authority. I think it's going to add up more time. We've only got 5 seconds of time left on the watch, but we will have some added time, which the fourth official, Kevin Friend, is going to indicate now to us. 1 minute of added time. 1 minute, Arsenal away from their first trophy in 9 years. 3-2 they lead against Hull City, who've been so spirited. All the Arsenal bench standing down below us. All the players like Ozil and Podolski looking to try and come on at the final whistle. Sonogo rides a couple of challenges. Arsenal almost there. Hull City have almost lost this. They've given us absolutely everything here today, as Gibbs from the halfway line turns the ball back to Fabianski. He just needs a good clearance here. Into added time, we have about 30 seconds to go. The ball is loose. McGregor is being urged to get it as quickly as he can. McGregor can thump this ball downfield for maybe the last time towards Fryatt. It's into the head of Koscielny. Koscielny's firm header back to the halfway line, and Huddleston. Arsenal just need to get this ball down. A bit lazy from Sonogo, but he finds Wiltshire. Wilshire's running from the halfway line. Giroud to the left. Is there going to be a finish here for Thomas Rosicky? Rosicky in the penalty area. Rosicky for Arsenal. Flicked away off the line by McShane. No fourth goal, but surely, yes, the final whistle goes, and for a record equaling 11th time, Arsenal have won the FA Cup. And this trophy is their first for 9 years. It's the first time they've won a trophy since they left Highbury Stadium. And for manager Arsene Wenger, his 5th FA Cup success to equal Sir Alex Ferguson's achievement. The final score here at Wembley, as players sink to the turf here from both sides. A really energy-sapping FA Cup final in the heat here. Arsenal in the end just shaded it. Arsenal 3, Hull City 2.
Well, Kieran Gibbs is in tears, I think, because it's redemption for him. Malky Mackay, what a game. How have Arsenal won that? How have they won that?
Purely by courage today, because Hull have been absolutely magnificent, stood up to everything that Arsenal had, and it was a sensational final, Mark, absolutely sensational final. 90,000 people are lucky they're here today.
I'd say never mind the quality, Phil, the entertainment, because Arsenal didn't play, did they?
No, not
they
at
didn't
all.
play. Hull City, so brave, good on them, the way they went at Arsenal, the way they got in front, and Arsenal grounded out, didn't they? There was nothing skillful or pacey or fluent about their game.
Well, let's be clear about it. It was set pieces that got them back into the game, and Hull played. You know, when at times Hull passed the ball really, really well. You have to give both sets of players immense credit. You know, Arsenal as well. Let's give them immense credit for fight, for spirit, for coming back in 2-0 down after 10 minutes and not playing well and grind out a result. That's a fabulous team.
And Aaron Ramsey, Arsenal's player of the season. Good to see Arsene Wenger shaking hands with the Hull City players. The one moment of quality was the winning goal. The one shining beacon of football in quality.
Well, I think it showed in the first half of extra time. They broke 5-6 times on the Hull back four and couldn't get that quality in the final third. The one moment of quality in the second half of extra time fell to Ramsey, and he delivered, and it shows why they've missed him so much this season.
But Hull City, their first ever FA Cup final, they're in Europe next season. Steve Bruce on the touchline, hands deep in pockets, must be thinking what might have been. I said to you rather flippantly, from Arsenal's point of view, if you're going to go 2-0 down, do it early on in the first 10 minutes. And actually, the fact that it was so early gave at least them 18 minutes to get back. Juliet Berrington is down on the pitch.
Thomas Rosicky, I don't know how you're feeling, but if you're going to do it the hard way, you're going to do it, aren't you?
It's very difficult to describe. I was waiting for a long time for this moment, and it's finally here, and it's exciting.
And what's that moment like? Just describe to us, because a lot's been said about this FA Cup and Arsenal.
Really, it's very difficult to describe. The whole club really needed this trophy, and finally we've got it, and I hope it will help us for the next season as well, because some of the young boys never won anything, and it's first time for them, so we can produce or continue like that next year. So.
You sound absolutely shattered.
Yeah, you know, I played 15 minutes and it feels like I played 2 extra times.
Thomas, how important? Thomas Rosicky there, live on 5 Live. The celebrations going around. I was just seeing some of the players hugging each other. I'm going to see if I can have a quick word with Mikel Arteta.
Julia, can I just say one quick thing? Bakary Sagna is applauding the Arsenal fans. That looks like, on his own, that looks like goodbye, thank you, at least I've left with a medal. Yes, sorry, Juliet, all yours.
It's all right, Arteta, high five. How good does that feel?
That's unbelievable. When you go 2-0 down a final, I think it's really rare to get back on the game and win the cup. So what you've done is tremendous. Just to enjoy this atmosphere. It's been a long time. Hopefully this is the start of something very good for the club. And we really deserve it, I think, so we're really happy for it. Let's enjoy it.
2-0 down after 8 minutes. You must have been absolutely mortified, shell-shocked.
It was absolutely shocking. You would never expect to start the game that way. But again, it shows the attitude, once again, of this team, the character and the desire we have to win it. So we put it right at the end, but it was under a lot of pressure.
I know Wigan took you to penalties. Hull taking you to extra time. That feeling, though, when Aaron Ramsey's goal hit the back of the net.
It was unbelievable, and well, I think he was the right man. I think he's been the best player on the pitch when he's been fit. He absolutely deserves it, so win the place like that.
And so much finally has been said about this 9 years.
Yeah, but sometime it had to be, and it was today. For me, today was the day, and we've done it.
Enjoy your celebrations. Thanks, Mikel. Mikel Arteta there. Let's see who else I can try and grab a word with. We did speak to Kieran Gibbs before the match. He's just walking towards Rosicky, who we've spoken
to. Talk to Malky and just shout when you've got somebody, Jules. Just shout. Well, Arsenal haven't won a trophy for about 10 minutes. They've got to up their game, haven't they, Malky? But the quality that they showed wasn't there. Why do Arsenal start games like that? What's going on mentally, do you think?
Well, you know, this afternoon there was a lot of pressure on them. There was everyone looking at them saying they were the favourites, but they did not start the game well. And the team came after them, and as I said to you, first 10-15 minutes, every tackle, every header, every challenge went Hull's way. And in the first half, bar that 10 minutes after they scored the free kick, they certainly weren't in the game. Second half, Hull again pressed them and again looked as if they had the better passing quality. Maybe there's a little bit more leadership quality needed.
And they've definitely lacked the pace. Walcott, Oxlade, Chamberlain, that's obvious. You want to do this again? You want to be a manager? You really want to do that, Malky? Can you do something less stressful? Arsene Wenger's heart rate.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a problem with it.
Well, I think both managers. I mean, look, Steve Bruce has gone through the ringer today as well, and he's got to be so proud of his team, his fans, and himself. the way that Hull actually acted today and the way that they've made this final, fantastic.
They deserve all the credit in the world, don't they? And I don't want that to sound patronising. Fantastic support, went at Arsenal fast, and you think actually Steve Bruce said, look, I've watched Arsenal this season, think of the games at Chelsea and at Liverpool particularly, this is the way to start against Arsenal.
Very much so, and I think it'll not help tonight when they look back on it, but in a few months' time when he looks back on him having contributed massively to one of the best FA Cup finals in the last 10-15 years, you've got to be proud of that as Hull City.
There's nothing else they could have done, was there, Hull? They cannot. The good thing from Hull's point of view, if there is a good thing, they left it all out there. There's no what ifs, nobody froze, quite the opposite. They didn't bottle it at 2-0 up.
Not if you actually think about it, once Ramsey scored, Hull went up the other end of the park, and Aluko was within an inch of actually getting an equaliser. I mean, what courage. And you have to give Arsenal courage. Let's not forget that. They didn't play well, but by goodness, you've got to give them courage.
Arsenal are celebrating on the pitch. Juliet Berrington's out there.
Jack Wilshere, we're going to postpone your celebrations of your teammates. As a fan, as an Arsenal fan, as a player, how good does that feel?
It's amazing, you know. I mean, I've won the Youth Cup before, but that's nothing like this. You know, that's the next level, and this is for the fans.
And your teammates, they look absolutely shattered. I think both sets of players put everything into this, didn't they?
We did, you know, and you can see at the end a few players were carrying injuries, but we dug in and we carried on. You know, fair play to the boys. You know, it was easy for me when we came on.
We're just trying to undo your laces here at the moment. How good does that feel coming on for the last 15 minutes or so?
Good, you know, but fair play to all the credit goes to the boys. You know, it was easy for me to come on and just sort of help us get us over the line. I mean, the credit goes to them.
And all this 9 years without a trophy, and now you've got one.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. It's for the fans, you know. It's been a long 9 years for them. They've stuck with us. They fill the Emirates every week, and that's for them.
Jack, thank you very much.
What might this do for Arsenal? They are winners. It was ugly, but they did do it. They haven't won on, they haven't won on penalties. Malky, they've won the game. What might this do for their mentality?
Well, they finished fourth for the 17th year. They're in the Champions League. They have a trophy for the first time in 9 years, and Arsene now goes into the summer. If he signs this contract, which everyone thinks he's going to, he's going over to his fans at the moment. I think he's ready to throw his tie into the fans. He is. There's a little bit of emotion. As long as he doesn't throw it at you and me, Mark. You might catch it. I'm not going to catch it.
Oh, look, he is. I've never seen Arsene Wenger do that before. He was very emotional on the final whistle. The way he hugged Steve Bold.
You touched on it there. You touched on it there about managers, and Arsene Wenger is someone that keeps his emotions in check. Don't you think today that inside Arsene Wenger will be absolutely a nervous wreck on everything that was going on today and the magnitude of everything that was happening? And I think it's an immense credit to him, the way that he's handled it today.
I know you enjoyed working in Wales very much at Cardiff. Aaron Ramsey is draped in a Welsh flag. John Hartson, former Wales and Arsenal striker, is doing 606 with Kevin Kilban. John, Arsenal's player of the season, even if he's missed 3 months. What a finish from Aaron Ramsey to somehow haul Arsenal over the line.
Yeah, it's a fantastic finish with the outside of his foot, his right foot, you know, and I thought when he every time he sort of got into the Hull penalty area today, I thought he always looked dangerous. He fluffed 1 or 2 chances, but the real chance that he had, you know, he tucked away very nicely. And you know, I thought they missed Aaron for a while. He started the season fantastically well. I think he got up about 12, 13 goals up until January, where he missed a couple of months, and since he's come back with aplomb, you know, and to score the winning goal in an FA Cup final when he's been through so much, but his performances over the last 12, 14 months have just been spectacular.
Lovely touch as the Arsenal players made a tunnel for the Hull City players who are going up to get their losers' medals, and the Arsenal players making sure that they shook hands with the Hull players, and Steve Bruce as well there. What a comeback from Aaron Ramsey from that horrible broken leg to cup winner. So, Mike Ingham, it's been a privilege and a pleasure to share the commentary box with you for so many years at the FA Cup final. And Mike, what a game for your last Cup final.
Well, it was, Mark, and I'm just looking at, you know, the royal box here. We have the FA Chairman, Greg Dyke, and we have the FA President, the Duke of Cambridge, waiting to hand out the medals. And, you know, whatever plans lie in store for the future of English football, commissions, B teams, quotas, I would say really just always treasure the FA Cup. Other countries may have stronger teams, but nobody else has the FA Cup. And Hull City, you said yourself, it's always easy, dangerous sometimes. You can patronise opposition going up, but what is that song, The Eye of the Tiger, rising up to the challenge of our rival? Well, they did that, didn't they, Chris?
I've got to say they were first class. They didn't have a bad player today, Hull. Everyone was totally focused, committed, and at the end of the day they ran out of legs. They put so much effort into the game, defending. They were constantly, after went 2-0 up, they went deep and they put a shift in. It's been warm today, and you've got to say that they've given everything. They couldn't do any more, Hull, than what they've done today.
And that's all you can ever ask of players. I'm sure Steve Bruce, who's now getting handshakes, would say, look, just whatever you do out there, don't leave anything. Just give it absolutely everything. And they gave us such a roller coaster of a final, leading 2-0, of course, inside the first 8 minutes of the game. Steve Bruce has been a runner-up as a player. He's now a runner-up as a manager, but he did, of course, famously, he was the first English player to walk up those steps and be a captain of a double-winning side with Manchester United exactly 20 years ago. Some words of consolation from Greg Dyke, and Steve Bruce pats the Duke of Cambridge as well there on the shoulder. And, well, he will be proud of his team. There's absolutely no question about that. Of course, they do have the European football to look forward to, and, of course, in a couple of years or so, Hull is the next UK capital of culture. Well, they've certainly given us a wonderful exhibition here today of cup-fighting football. But now, of course, the emphasis will switch to Arsenal, and, you know, they always say that this walk, you sort of haul yourself up. It's like hauling yourself up a hill when you've lost, but when you've won, it's like riding an escalator. And when Arsenal last won the trophy in 2005, they did so with Patrick Vieira's last kick of the ball as an Arsenal player, and that went down really as a symbolic moment. Well, now Mikel Arteta was the captain on the pitch, and Thomas Vermaelen, of course, is the club captain. And it is Thomas Vermaelen, the club captain, who is leading them up there with Mikel Arteta. But this new FA Cup apparently is heavier than the old one, so they might need two people to lift it. But a long line of captains have made this walk, amongst them Joe Mercer and Frank McClintock and Pat Rice. And of course Tony Adams did it more than anybody else, and he said recently, it's about time. Well, it is now. Now is the time again for Arsenal. And here come the players. Bakary Sagna, who's just possibly waved goodbye to the Arsenal fans just a few moments ago. We think he's moving off during the summer. But one by one, Szczesny can get on the field today. He's got an Arsenal scarf draped around. But the Belgian Thomas Vermaelen, who's been a great servant, and this will be his first medal, of course, winning medal for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta, the Spaniard, who missed out here with Everton against Chelsea in the 2009 final. Vermaelen appears, Arteta behind him, and the rest of the players follow suit. And Arsene Wenger, in his white shirt, who's thrown his tie into the crowd, as Mark Pougatch was saying, a rare sign of emotion, really, from the calm, placid Frenchman. But the Arsenal fans away to our right, preparing to celebrate, and still most of the Hull fans are here to the left. The fans will have to be patient in terms of seeing this new trophy for the first time lifted by their club. And all the players, Monreal, Sanogo, all, and Mertesacker gets a big hug there in the royal box as well from Ivan Gazidis. I can see there the Arsenal chief exec, Arsene Wenger, making his way now up the steps as well, gets handshakes and fist clenches from the fans around. Arsene Wenger, who's had to wait many, 18 years he's been, and for 9 of those years, no trophy. But now that has been rectified, and the fans see him for the first time making his way towards the Duke of Cambridge, making his way towards the FA Cup, getting applause from the Hull contingent as well. Some of the Arsenal backroom staff are there as well. Arsene Wenger, hands on hips. He looks a little bit weary like his players as well.
I'm really pleased for him, I've got to say. I think he's great for the game, and yes, he's had a few lean years, and I'm really pleased for him. I think he deserves it, and Arsenal haven't won trophies, well documented for a while, and hopefully this will be the start of a few for them. But I'm pleased for Arsene Wenger because he gets criticised unfairly at times, I think.
It's a brand new FA Cup. It's been lovingly made, lovingly crafted. They've still got the old plinth, so it's not a new name on the cup, but it's going to be back at the famous club of Arsenal. And surely this has got to be better than 4th place as Arsenal win the FA Cup, and Arsene Wenger holds it to the fans. He receives it straight away from the players, Thomas Vermaelen and Mikel Arteta, and then Arsene Wenger shows the cup to the Arsenal fans away to our right. He's waited since 2005. It's the first time that Arsenal have won a trophy in this new Wembley Stadium. Last time they won at Wembley was back in '98 in the days of Tony Adams. They kissed the trophy, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain there, and Carl Jenkinson as well. So these are great scenes if you're an Arsenal fan. Just saw Ken Fryer there, who's been a great servant, of course, at the club, just sitting behind all the players there with a lovely beam on his face. So congratulations to Arsenal. Thank you to Hull City. Arsenal 3, Hull City 2. Arsenal at last have a trophy to show to their fans, and they'll of course do a big bus ceremony. I think it might be tomorrow. They'll show it all around. We'll pass it